Hey everyone, it's James, host and lead producer of the Weekly DADCast, streamed live at twitch.tv/weeklydadcast. Find more DADCast episodes alongside with DADCast After Dark on iTunes or go to weeklydadcast.podbean.com. If you have a question for us, email us at officialdadcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter at officialdadcast. For our stream archives and other DADCast content, go to YouTube and search DADCast. Links to all of this and more in the description below. Thank you and enjoy the show.
I don't like that sentence.
You know what sentence I don't like. Hey guys, welcome to the weekly DADcast. I'm your host James. We got Claude and Skylar here today. George couldn't make it. He said something about invading Cuba, like a Bay of Pigs 2.
Actually, what happened was
What do you know about the Bay of Pigs?
last night what was happening was George was talking to me about Halloween Horror Nights, which apparently is going, but he kept talking to me about how, like, the Stranger Things kids are going to be there, and he kept talking about how hype he was about how that one kid didn't have any teeth. He was talking about all the gums. I'm not sure what that was about. He was really about the gums.
I'm not about the gums. It's not the kind of man I am.
He kept saying it was a whole different experience. I don't really know what he meant though.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he'll tell us next week when he might be on. Yeah. Maybe if he's not like killing himself and trying to go ghost IRL. We'll have to see. So for those of you who've been keen eagle-eyed listeners, you might be wondering like why I'm here, because I did say I would likely be not present from like last week onward, and that's because I got hella lucky and found a job sooner than I was expecting. And I love it. Yeah. It's a fun job.
No more Shin Dadcast. So we were so excited for weeks without James, but
like actual weeks where we don't have to fight each other.
Nah, man, you're gonna have to be fighting me the whole way through.
It wasn't to be. Unfortunately.
Who knows? Maybe I still have an open schedule on Saturdays. So I mean, who knows? Maybe.
God damn it.
Like, as in, no, I might still be like scheduled to work on Saturdays, and I might just not be able to make it. Like, that's still a thing. It's still on the table, but just not right now. Just not right now. What is right now, though, is some of these fan questions we got. And unfortunately, nobody really provided a usually we got people that like have their names or like somewhere in the email or like it's part of their email address, but we didn't get that here. So we got one question here today. It says, if you had to be in a real if you had to be in a real horror or slasher film situation, which movie setting would you least want to be in? For example, I would least want to be in A Nightmare on Elm Street because I'm not confident I could stop Freddy.
I mean, I don't want to be in like
I don't want to be in Halloween. I don't want to be in Halloween because despite the fact that guy's human, he seems to never be able to come back. Mike Myers.
I don't want to be in Cabin in the Woods because the problem is that you
it's
die.
Real.
Well, no, because the outcome is that you either I'm a male, so I'm not allowed to be the virgin cool girl that lives.
Yeah, well, you are the virgin, but you're just not the girl.
I just have a penis, so therefore I'm not allowed to survive. But
that girl, actually, in the movie Cabin in the Woods, they make a point of like saying like that girl, the girl that is the virgin.
Well, yeah,
type,
it was a complete lie. Like it was because it was all fucked up. Because and you're right. In the movie, is that the girl who became the virgin was fucking her professor, and the girl who became like the slut was like the smart girl with like all the straight A's, and it was like just dating. They had a boyfriend and was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta like make them match the archetypes to appease the audience.
Well,
the
gods. Yes, yes, I did indeed watch the movie. My point though was that it's impossible to survive in that because you either die to save the world or you don't save the world and everyone dies. So
you say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, so I choose that one.
Mine's is like kind of like it works, but not so much because it's also sci-fi. But Alien, I wouldn't.
Oh yeah, that's probably not.
I wouldn't want to deal with that shit. Face huggers literally invented because they were like, "What's terrifying?" Rape.
Impreg. Yeah, that too. Rape is also terrifying.
So it's like, all right, let's do that, and then when you're done, within however many hours, that thing will just burst out of your chest in the most painful way possible. I'm like, that's terrifying. I don't like that.
Alien also invented some really, really good and some really bad porn at the same time. It's fascinating how many. It's a fascinating look. You made me like this, okay? You made this my character.
I didn't. You're just like that.
This is your fault.
I didn't meet you and be like, hey, it's socially acceptable to send your friends porn just for funsies. You did this.
But you didn't not say that, and therefore I thought it was okay.
I told you to stop, and we've all called you out. I don't want to do this. It's too early. It's too early in this.
Fuck, man, got him.
Oh man. I said it's fucked up. I said Mike Myers because like that means just in a fucking William Shatner mask, and he's just allowed to come back all the time for reasons.
What?
The mask.
He's never like really dead though. Like the one time he should have died was bullshit when he didn't die. But he's just a regular dude. He's just very efficient at what he does.
You'd think
if that's your thought, then you should just say Jason, because Jason will legitimately come back from the dead.
Yeah, that's my point though. Is that like the guy Mike Myers? I should have just died a while ago, but he just doesn't for reasons. Like he would have ended up shot.
In the hospital.
Well, they really shouldn't. They really shouldn't do that.
They did throw grenades at him once.
He should have died or been blown apart. Like, goddamn. Like, I didn't say Jason specifically because he is a supernatural entity of sorts. Like, he is specifically like a weird zombie man. But Mike
got struck by lightning and then came out of his grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that time that happened.
Remember that time he got frozen and put in the future? And then fused with nanomachines.
Remember that time in the future when he stuck someone's head in liquid nitrogen? And he
remember
their
that.
Face like glass.
Yeah, that was the coolest fucking. That's the only scene I can remember from that movie.
That's the only cool kill in the whole movie.
You don't remember magnetic nipples?
I don't remember
magnetic. I actually forgot about that.
Please explain magnetic nipples.
So it's they're all on the space station, and there's this one dude who's like, I made a robot chick, and like it's slowly backing away, and then you see she like you see her tits in full, and you see the ping ping, like the two nipples, their magnets just falling off her. He's like, don't worry, we'll make you a woman soon enough. It's like, hooray.
That's
my favorite kill from that is probably when they were like, we need to stall him. So they made a hologram of two topless girls with like a sleeping bag.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, oh, hey, come play with us. And he's like, he doesn't say anything, of course, because Jason. He's like, I was chasing these dudes. Let me make a pit stop right here. So he just puts them in the sleeping bag and slams them into a tree until their spines break.
Which is a reference from a different kill he did. Like, that's just a straight callback, which is funny. He's done that like a few times before. In previous movies.
What's your guys' like favorite like Jason kill in general?
Ooh.
In general?
Yeah. Any movie you want from him.
I mean, I really like the smash the face in the glass. That's like a really strong one because it's super dumb. But
to be honest, I haven't seen enough Jason movies to really say I have a favorite kill. But I'm also partial to the glass face. Can I tell you my favorite kill from a slasher film?
Sure.
It is a similar movie to Jason X. I think it's Leprechaun 3 when he's in the space station.
Hood?
No, not in the hood. It's the one where he's in a space station. It's a futuristic space
one, man.
It might have been 4. I don't know how many there were. Basically what happens is like it's the opening scene. Girl and her buff man guy are making out somewhere in some weird location. It's really dark and poorly made set, but they're making out and stuff, and then like he's it's like, oh man, he's getting hard, and so it's like, and it doesn't show anything, but he's like making uncomfortable noises, like his pants are uncomfortable, and she's like, oh, we gotta get you out of these pants. He's like, no, I'm actually like having a problem, and like he backs up to the wall and like starts like slouching down, and like it takes a full shot of his crotch, and it's the top through his pants. The top of the leprechaun's hat is just like a cylinder,
bulging out of his crotch, and he just pops out, and that is like like one of the stupidest concepts for a death in a movie, even for one like about a crazy leprechaun in space that I've ever seen, and I love it. Like that's one of those deaths that like makes me like feel pain in my dick, like not subconsciously, but like just through pure visual. You guys ever had that? Like when you're watching a movie or a show?
My penis.
Yeah, like or like
that's
not
very
even
specific.
Not even like real pain, but like you just like feel it, like like there's the emotional connection with the character through the dick pain. Like watching a guy get kicked in the balls, and you're like,
I mean, I've had like certain reactions to stuff like that, but nothing like that's super memorable like that.
I mean, I know there's a bit from Antichrist when Willem Dafoe gets his dick smashed.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bad. That was pretty rough.
Scott, you didn't mention yours before as far as like favorite. Well, I guess we'll just do slasher in general versus specifically Jason Kill.
I forget the name of the movie. It might be Bad Taste, but I forget. Peter Jackson? No, maybe not. Let me look it up. It's an old ass. I'm pretty sure Peter Jackson thing that he made, where it was like this one scene with this fucking lawnmower that was just like it was just going over people, and they were like exploding into giblets. And it's just so dumb and ridiculous. I also love the one from the movie Houseu, Japanese horror movie, where a girl gets sucked into a piano and her limbs become like the piano wires, and her head is like coming out the thing. It's super, because like I said, it's like from the 70s, so it looks super goofy because the piano is like jumping around with the car like a cartoon character. But it's fun. Those are both fun movies that I recommend watching.
Flashbacks.
I forget the one from the Peter Jackson one, but it's pretty ridiculous. I forget what it's called though.
Flashbacks.
Wait, I think it's called Dead Alive.
Dead Alive? Why does that sound familiar?
Let me look it up really quick before I'm saying dumb shit.
Okay, what about you, Claude?
So for mine, it actually affected my lifestyle for like a year. I'm not gonna say a year, but a couple of months. I think it was the first Nightmare on Elm Street. It's one of the first couple ones where there was a scene where a dude's just laying in his bed, and then a hole opens up in his bed, and he like kind of slides into the hole, and the next thing you see is just a fountain of blood shooting out, and like that's how he died. And for months, because I thought when I was super young, that fucked me up. Yeah. So for like the longest time, I just slept on the very edge of my bed, terrified that a hole would open up in the center of my bed. Damn. So the fact that it like affected my lifestyle makes me like, yeah, that's probably number one.
I think the first like slasher film I ever saw was Scary Movie. It weirdly enough, it was Scary Movie 1, or was it 2? Which one's the one where they make fun of Scream? Was it 1 or 2?
I think that's 1. I'm pretty sure it is Dead Alive, by the way.
All right, cool. So the first, I remember I saw Scary Movie, and I always equated it to Scream. Like I thought they were the same movie for a while without seeing Scream, and I always thought that was like people would talk about how scary Scream was all I could remember from Scary Movie was the woman at the very beginning getting stabbed in the tit and her like fake boob coming out. Like that's all I remember from that movie. It's so weird.
Yeah, those aren't good movies.
Yeah. It's definitely Dead Alive, because the bit where he gets the lawnmower and he walks into a crowd of zombies and they explode. It's super good.
I didn't know Peter Jackson made movies like that. I've only ever
heard.
Some of his
old actually. Yeah, the movie was called Brain Dead and different things. That's why I forgot what it was called. But yeah, he literally just has like a shitty like a big lawnmower, and he's holding it up in front of his chest so the blades are facing outward, and he just walks into a huge crowd of zombies, and like they're all just like get shredded.
I also just realized I've been equating Peter Jackson and Percy Jackson this whole time.
Ooh, I'm not gonna say anything.
My favorite Lord of the Rings film is Light Speed.
I haven't even read a Percy Jackson book. That's the worst part.
I like the first series.
There's more than one series?
Yeah, Rick. I believe his name's pronounced Rick Rodian. You check me on that if you want, Skylar. I don't remember. I know his name starts with Rick. He's written multiple
Rick
series.
Riordan.
Riordan, that was it.
Something like that.
All right, yeah, because he
That's
wrote
all
the
I-
Percy. I forgot what the name of the first series is. I'm just gonna call it Percy Jackson because it followed the
Lightning
Greek.
Thief. Yeah, Percy
Yeah,
Jackson.
and then there was the second one. I think it was Champions of Olympus. Was that the second series name?
Sure.
Where it had the Greek and then Roman pantheon, and then he also did something with Egyptians, and I stopped paying attention after that.
Okay.
But the clear focus he had was on the Greek/Roman part.
Man, what was the... I'm forgetting the author's name, but I remember I loved his books. It was... Oh, he made two different series. He made one series that got a movie with the guy from Step Brothers that isn't Will Ferrell. What's that actor's name?
Wait, what?
In Step Brothers, the guy that isn't Will Ferrell, what's his name? The actor.
Oh, Danny McBride.
Danny McBride.
No, that's not McBride. Shit. Fuck.
Okay,
Danny McBride
That's
is the
Danny
other-
McBride, yes.
No, it's not.
No, Danny McBride's the like trucker guy from Alien Covenant.
Yeah, no. It's the dude that's fucking from the. he does that
Oh,
Tim
C.
Allen
O'Reilly.
Yeah,
Chris,
yeah.
Yeah, O'Reilly.
John C. Riley.
John C. Riley.
That's-
So John C. Riley starred in oh god, this is a while ago. Do you guys remember that movie that he was in, where it was like he was like a circus performer, but he was also a vampire? You guys remember that? Cirque du Soleil, Cirque du.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. All right. So I read that series.
Say Cirque du Freak. I think.
Yeah, Cirque du Freak. Cirque du Freak. Which just means freak circus, whatever. So I read that series. I didn't watch the movie because I knew it was gonna be bad. Because honestly, those books are pretty bad in retrospect. But he made that same author made a different series called Demonata. Man, that is the edgiest shit. I think.
Before you go too into that, I do want to bring a note that we were still on our first question, and it's been like 20 minutes.
Fair.
We're still talking about. Well, yeah, this is like the biggest tangent of all time.
You're
Like,
right.
holy shit.
You're right. I'm sorry. Okay. Second question. Second question also comes from Anonymous asking, I liked how Adventure Time ended after years of airing. What long-running series were you most satisfied with the conclusion of?
Samurai
I heard-
Jack.
One Piece. Oh fuck. Wait.
Berserk. Oh no.
Dragon Ball Z. Shit. My Hero.
What are you doing?
I'm doing a bit where all the series I'm naming don't actually have an ending.
Okay, whatever.
Like,
It's okay. It's okay, George. It'll be all right.
Is
I
it
don't-
okay, George?
damn.
Why you
He
like
did the
this? What
thing.
happened to you?
You did.
You did this. You called me George.
Wait, what? Did I?
Yes.
Oh no, I didn't even
damn.
realize it.
You
God
did it.
damn it!
Damn, it's spreading. It's spreading.
I didn't even realize what I did. Everyone's names are the same in my head.
It's the G sounding C, you know,
Yeah,
and J sounds so similar.
they're very. They're all. See, I just fuck up everyone's names anyway. It's a fucking problem that I've had for years. I'm like my grandfather, who calls everyone by the wrong name.
I'll be honest. I genuinely can't think of a series I've watched that has had an ending.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, I think
really.
he means long running, because the almost stuff that we finish is pretty short.
Yeah.
I can say that the Ava manga ended pretty well, and that ran for a fucking long ass time for like no
Wait.
reason.
Wait, why did the Ava manga continue after the show was done?
Well, because
Like,
it's
it went past-
impossible to finish the manga before the show ends, so it obviously ran after. But then it was because Yoshiyuki Sadamoto was lazy, and so the Ava manga didn't actually end until like fucking 20 years after the show was over.
God. It was recent.
Yeah,
It
it's
recent.
It
Ah,
ended recently.
so
It
it
actually also ended really well. Like the Ava manga is good,
did it
and
end?
it's different also.
Oh, it's different. Okay. Who the fuck
I
let him keep running that for 20 years?
well, probably 'cause it's popular, right? There's
Was
a reason
it?
for it.
Was
Yeah.
it?
It's
I-
Ava, dude. Ava shit sells like fucking whatever.
I mean, I
actually
guess
own all of it. Though I own the whole manga
the
'cause they
whole
had, like,
manga.
because it had really nice omnibus releases that were like all at the bookstore.
D-
So I bought
Does
them.
it keep the "I'm so fucked up" scene?
Yes. I
Good.
think so. I'm pretty sure it
Good.
does.
It's
Yeah,
good.
I'll send it retarded and I made that up.
I mean, well, those aren't necessarily exclusive things.
Yeah.
Cowboy
But yeah, they actually
Bebop,
added-
yeah, Cowboy Bebop had a really satisfying ending.
But that wasn't long running though.
It
was only
was
26
it
episodes.
it was long running in our hearts. In our hearts.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I'm just gonna let him take that so he can be done.
Yeah.
That's all I care about at this point.
Hajime no Ippo is ending soon, I think.
Is it?
I think so.
It might.
I feel like how is
Is
it
it
not
'cause he's
going to
sick?
end? How is it not
He's
going to
sick.
end? That dude's retiring.
No, it's fine.
I don't get it.
Change his name to Hajime no Takamura.
Oh,
Hajime no, what's his name? The kid with the bandana. Is
Oh
that
god, I'm forgetting his name.
because Ippo is his second now in the manga?
Is he? I thought Ippo
Yeah.
picked up some new kid.
Nah. Ippo is.
Because I
mean,
remember
think
seeing some scene like
both
Ippo
of-
stopping.
There was a panel where he stopped some kid from getting bullied, but I'm not sure if that kid's like he's like boxing it. But right now in the manga, Ippo is second for that kid with the bandana whose name I forget.
Okay, yeah, no, it's I mean, I don't know where they would go with it. But that would be nice. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So whatever.
yeah, James, go on.
Oh no,
Okay, so-
that's all I got, man.
You're our host. I mean, continue.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
other things.
I
that
thought you
do
meant-
How do you did you forget you're our host?
No, I thought you meant like on with the question because I had said I was muttering something and I thought that's who you're referring to.
No, I just
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for sending in your questions. If you'd like to send in your questions, send us your emails or your tweets at weeklydadcast@gmail.com or at weeklydadcast. Thank you very much. Claude, how was your week?
My week was pretty slow. I didn't actually do much. A lot of stuff with work. When I wasn't working, I was like bum rushing through a lot of the anime that was like either ending or just ended, so I can clear my slate for next season. And then I spent a hell of a lot of time on Animal Crossing New Leaf for the DS, because Animal Crossing is a good game and it's super fun. And I can just come home, I'm done with work, I don't feel like doing anything, turn my brain off and have some fun in that. And then, like we'll be talking about with the spoiler cast later, I saw My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. So,
I did also
Yeah.
do that.
you know, all those thoughts and stuff about that will be at the end of this podcast.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Was there anything else that happened in your week or?
No, my week was very slow. It was work,
Damn.
coming home on some days to finish anime from this season. Hanebado is great if I have to specify one of them. Waiting on one more episode. And then, yeah, Animal Crossing. I didn't actually have much going on this week.
All right, fair. What about you, Skylar? Anything happen during your week?
I had a similarly slow week because I had exams, so I was very busy studying and doing shit for my exams. Aside from that, I read some more Dorohedoro. Manga continues to be great. Yeah, please read it. That's actually ending soon, so I could have answered that but I haven't finished it yet, so that doesn't count. Yeah. Yeah, and I also finally built up the will in my heart to finish My Girl, which I think I talked about it before, is the manga about the guy who's like raising his estranged daughter who he
Yes.
had. Yeah.
That, yeah, you mentioned it, and that you were worried that it might go into creep.
Oh no, that's not that. That's the one with the girl. That's like the one
Right.
that's like the. Yeah, that's a different one. This one
No,
is
no,
actually
but-
wholesome.
Yeah, no, I know, but you said that you were worried at one point that it might become creep because other shows stuff like it have been.
No,
creep.
I was told talking about people that thought that, and I thought that it was weird people would think that at all. I remember that conversation. There was a dude that said it was creepy, and I was like, "Fuck you."
You're more likely to remember the conversation than I will, so fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. And then I finished that. That ended really well. It's very cute. It's very like touching, but it's like it's because it's about people dealing with like grief, so it's kind of sad. But I still recommend it. It's very good. Other than that, I didn't really do too much. Just studying for exams and shit.
Your exams next week, or when are they?
Wait, what?
When are your exams?
Oh, I mean, I had them on Thursday.
Okay, so you're set.
Yeah.
All right, good shit.
Yeah. Yep. So that's me. What about you, James? How's your week?
I mean, to be honest, yeah, I mean, y'all know how my week was like, but for to be honest, my week was actually pretty slow. Also, what?
No, like even though this is a podcast, you're like, well, you guys already know. I was like, all right, I guess we're done.
Well, I wasn't gonna stop. I was gonna explain further. I'm sorry. No, it's just my week was kind of slow because I had some shit happen, but I ended up finding a job. I work at a Chick-fil-A, like in the next town over, so that's a bit of a drive.
You can
but
make a chicken.
I do not make chicken. I serve chicken. There's a difference. There's not much of a difference. I'll probably end up making chicken. Chick-fil-A doesn't make their chicken. We all know. We just don't want to admit it. We all know.
What?
That shit ain't fresh. Anyway, if I suddenly
I like how you laugh harder at your joke than anyone else, and you get a sigh from Skylar.
Because if I won't laugh, who will?
No one.
Exactly.
Continue.
And that's why I do this. I mean, so yeah, I've been working at Chick-fil-A. I had my first day yesterday, and it was really nice. I really enjoy it. Been great. I think I might start reading One Piece and the.
Whoa, okay. We need to talk about that. What the fuck happened to you?
Okay, well, I'll be honest. I started reading.
No one just decides to read One Piece. What happened?
All right. I'm gonna be honest. I did try to start reading One Piece like a few months ago, but I stopped.
Nice.
She returns.
Booms.
Goddess Valerie.
Booms.
Please be Valerie. Please
It's not
unironically be Valerie.
It's nobody.
Rip.
It's actually nobody.
Worthless to me. Damn. The interest was sparked because of a very I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but there's a guy on YouTube called Foxcade who is a really good like game, like he did mostly like action games and stuff like Devil May Cry and all that. But he came out with a really good One Piece video about like the legacy of it, like the story of before, essentially the story of the author and how he came to become the mangaka for One Piece. And I was like, man, everybody keeps talking about One Piece, talking about this detailed world, and like the art style doesn't really offend me. I don't actually mind it. And like I've read Romance Dawn, which was like the prototype, like the first prototype. There was a second Romance Dawn, but I didn't read that one. And like, I'm pretty interested. So I've figured, I'm gonna find a good scanlation. Maybe I'll find it in color. I don't know. That's probably too much to ask, but I'm gonna start reading One Piece. I'm gonna start reading One Piece now. And I'm still Skylar, I think I'm gonna start reading Dorohedoro once it finishes.
It's gonna end really soon, so
yeah. So I'll just be doing that, and then if I can find time, Power Rangers Mighty Morphin is still there somewhere in the ether. I played some Breath of the Wild. I'm almost done with it in terms of like the. I say I'm almost done with it. I'm almost done with the main quest. I just have one more Divine Beast to get to, and then I'm just going to be working my way to getting the Master Sword and the. Hey, how do you guys get the tunic, the green tunic? Because I'd like to finish the game with that.
I never got that. Like
Damn.
I spent like it's one of those games where like I never played it to beat it because I still haven't beaten it. Is I'll pick it up and I'll explore and have some fun. Like that's one of the few games. It's like
That's
I
fair.
have not like tried to beat it. It's just the world is great, so I enjoy that.
I gotcha. Breath of the Wild, yeah, Breath of the Wild is definitely one of those games for me too, where it's just like if like I've been playing Yakuza 0 and fucking Final Fantasy 15 and Warframe and stuff, and these are all like long running stories and stuff, and I'm not even playing Yakuza 0 for the story.
It hurt my heart for a second that he didn't say Persona.
Well, Persona 3 is there, but you know I gotta get the right timing in for Persona 3 and stuff. It's just one of those things. And it's like you know, sometimes I'm just in the mood to like pick something up for like an hour, maybe just an hour, 30 minutes, maybe, and just play it. And Breath of the Wild is definitely one of those games that you can do because of the way the combat and the world are set up. Okay, Zeke, thank you for your input. I appreciate that. I've just been enjoying it. I mean, I haven't been paying shit all attention to the story because I don't really care. It's a Zelda story, whatever. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I guess moving on from
That's
leaks,
cool, I guess.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess whatever.
It's something that you did.
It's something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Sean, tell
Skylar,
me,
you
tell me what
existed.
tell me how you feel about One Piece and everything, because I know people that are super into it. They're like, "Gotta read One Piece," and I'm like, "That's a trillion billion chapters."
it's almost 1,000 chapters. Almost 1,000 over 90 volumes, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know. I haven't read. Like when I stopped reading One Piece the first time, I had just gone to Buggy, which is the clown guy for anybody.
Oh man, that's super early.
Oh, it's super early. Yeah, it's super.
Like the first nigga this man deals with.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, it's just one of those things. That's just happened to be where I stopped. But I mean, the humor's fun. The characters are well designed. If they're not a woman,
Damn.
Look,
Shame.
man.
He's not wrong.
Thank you. For once, I'm not wrong. Put it
But
on
then
the
again,
tally board.
I also hate the art style for One Piece. So
Mhm.
I hate
Yeah,
the
but I
like goofy proportions sometimes. Look at Blackbeard and tell me that shit looks cool. Get out of here.
Yeah.
It does look cool though. Fuck you.
No, it doesn't. Get
Skylar,
fucked.
what do you think about the like Nami and Nico Robbins designs? Then, what do you think of them? Are they well designed?
Nami looks like a fucking beanpole with tits attached to it, like giant watermelons, like pasted onto it.
Mm-hmm.
It's creepy. I think
Mhm.
Nico Robbins' design was fine when she was first introduced, but I don't know. Like now, she has the weird beanpole with tits thing going on.
I don't like her Nico Robbins' nose, to be honest.
It's fine.
It's like, I don't know. It's something. It's you know what it is? It's the line on the bridge of her nose. That's all it is. It's her nose is actually too pronounced in her design, and for some reason I just don't like it.
Nico Robbins like fucked up because like she had like her main deal like with like I'm beating you is I'll snap your spine in half, or because I'll make my like hands go out of the back of like your arm and grab your ankles and just pull as hard as I can and boom, or I'll just snap your neck. Like that's what she does. She's not a good time.
Oh, well, that'll be exciting when I get to her.
I don't know, like I like it. I got burned out and I was like I need to leave this series alone for a while because there was a period in time where like I just watched literally nothing but One Piece back to back to back. I got past the time skip and it was good. Like I feel like it starts off super weak and the series isn't really worth anyone's time in my opinion until when they get to the Grand Line, that's when stuff starts happening. That's after they get all the main characters. Because all of the threats the main characters face, except for one dude who was like a side threat, because he wasn't actually after them, like it's all boring, dumb bullshit that no one's that interesting. I mean, Buggy it becomes interesting later, but like it's not great.
The fact that you say
great.
The fact that you say they don't even get into the Grand Line before before all the characters are there,
there's
really
two
no
characters to get on the Grand Line.
It's really disheartening because I watched the anime as it was coming out originally, and I got all the way to Chopper, and
Chopper's on Grand Line.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I
So
must have
the let's see. So it was first. They got fucking Zoro.
It's Nami. Yeah, it's Nami, Zoro, Usopp, Sanji, and then Chopper, and then
Like
from
I'm
there
gonna
out.
look episode wise. I think it's not even until episode 80 something that they get to the Grand Line. Like that shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember being really confused. There was an arc where they had to save a city, and I missed like a couple of weeks worth of episodes for some reason. And it's just I was so lost and I couldn't stop. I had to stop.
Well, what I'm gonna say is have fun with your journey into One Piece. It has a lot of great world building, and I feel like the best parts of the show is when they have nothing to do and it's just the characters interacting. Because it does the thing I hate the most in anything possible that happens 100% of the time in One Piece, where it's like we have our boss here, Luffy, and their boss is like we're on the way. Luffy is like, I'm gonna go up there and beat his ass. And I'm like, Luffy, wait. Luffy gets lost for 10 to 15 episodes, then shows up for the climactic battle. And like I was like, I get it. You have to have a way to make it wait for who the two main people to fight. But when this happens to Luffy, literally every arc, 100% of the arcs I've seen, that is how they stalled him getting to the villain. Like that shit's stupid.
Yeah. Foxcade mentions in his video that like the anime is like really poorly paced, just to make sure that they. Yeah. Well, that's yeah.
Yeah, let's not hang on One Piece anymore though. I want to.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say just like I'm looking forward to getting getting into One Piece, I guess. But from there, I guess we should move on to WaifuCast. What do you have for us, Claude?
Okay, today we will be talking about Mitsuki Bakugo.
Mitsuki Bakugo. You mean Best MILF?
Bakugo's mom. Otherwise known as
Best-
Bakugo's mom.
Yeah. The answer is viable. Also, just realized
why is she not in the series more?
But yeah, the answer is, did y'all realize she's basically just Bowsette in a way?
Oh, get out of here!
Not entirely wrong though. Not entirely. You understand. You understand what I mean.
Literally just blonde and angry. Like that is the only thing you have here. Where's the horns? Where's the spikes? Where's the fangs?
She kind of has fangs when she's mad.
She has the shark teeth when she's mad. But that's like anime though. That's an anime.
Yeah,
thing.
it's not like her.
Bowsette's anime original. Confirmed. Yeah, she's viable. She's viable because she's a blonde that's angry all the time. That's all I need. That's all I need. I am a simple man. I just want to be bullied.
She's gonna blow up your dick or something.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
She couldn't blow it up, but she'd set it on fire.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. She has the fire. She has the heat hands to make things turn hot.
Yeah, she can make things hot, and then her husband has the nitroglycerin sweat. Even though it wasn't planned eugenics like Ichigo out there, motherfucker having everything in the world,
Well,
like
Shoto,
that's a pairing that worked really well.
Like,
yeah, Shoto is a dark
Shoto is
eugenics.
actually with eugenics.
Which is kind of fucked up when you look at his family and just the failed product of that. But like, all right,
Yeah.
you see who has the percentage of patches like on their hair, like how much white, how much red, shows you how little Endeavor might care. I do like, all right, so because Bakugo is like a huge shit, I do like, it was like, all right, we gotta find his parents, and the very first thing you see is him getting punked out by his mom. Like, if you weren't so damn weak, none of this would have been an issue. I'm like, damn, you're really going in. And then, like, when it comes time to be sensible, she's like, oh, yeah, no, I heard what you guys said on TV. That showed you were actually paying attention to my son, and I respect that. So other people might have a problem with you, but yeah, no, I hope you take care of him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's a good lady. Can't wait.
Kind of.
Wait. Can't wait.
Can't wait for what?
Just can't wait.
Okay.
I guys, give me 1 second. You guys are roboting to death, so I'm gonna.
Oh
my phone
my
really quick.
god.
Give me a second. I'll be right back.
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait.
No, you could just
Silence.
continue. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Just continue talking.
Just gonna have to wait
Yeah.
in silence, Claude.
I'm saying she's viable. No, we're not doing that. I'm saying she's viable. Are you just gonna commit to not talking?
No, I won't. I won't commit. I'm bad
Well, I
at
was about to just start talking about flip flappers. All right, so anyone listening to this, Flip Flappers is a show you all need to watch. It has fantastic animation. It did not sell well. I'm actually not sure the reason why, because there's actually nothing wrong with that show. I don't know if it was the case of nothing else really coming out during that season, which I believe that was a winter or fall 2016 show. I don't know. I could be making shit up there, but yeah, no. Not George. James was committing to his bit of like, oh, let's not talk, and I was like, fuck that. If you're gonna be silent, I'm gonna sit here and talk about Flip Flappers.
So I let you talk about
Flappers should be watched.
So I let you talk about Flip Flappers. Like I did that for you. You're welcome. It was on purpose.
Yeah, watch Flip Flappers, everyone.
He allowed you to talk about Flip Flappers.
I am a graceful god. Anyway.
What's your verdict, Skylar?
Yeah, Skylar.
Bible. She's viable as fuck.
Oh god damn.
Okay. Well, next week, get hyped for the final My Hero Academia waifu cast. Skylar, I'm gonna need you on for that one.
Oh.
Is it gonna be like a it's gonna be
man.
face, right?
It's gonna be a fight probably. So I need you on.
Okay.
Skylar, hey, is he fucking like bass boosted on your end?
Base.
No, Skylar. He's louder. I mean, I can't really.
It sounds like he's fucking like speaking through a filter or something. I don't know what I don't know. It's weird.
Boosting my bass.
He doesn't sound.
I'm up in the club.
Yeah, see, I hear what you're talking about. It's not a problem on my end though, really.
I mean, I'll send a clip to you so you can see for when I'm done. But whatever. So that concludes our waifu cast for this week. So yeah, check out next week for the exciting conclusion to the My Hero Boku no Hero Academia waifu cast. Thank you. Moving on to the weekly news. So Sentai Filmworks announced 3 Blu-ray sets for January. I'm not sure what Sentai Filmworks is. Is that just Sentai?
No, it's basically like Aniplex or Funimation, where it's a distribution network.
Yeah, they do their own dub, sub, and distribution. 3 shows they're coming out with in January. I don't remember the name of the first. I think it was Rocket Girls. I could be wrong.
It is Rocket Girls, which is the 2007 anime based off of a 1995 light novel.
Right, and then the other 2 are Hiseki no Kuni or Land of the Lustrous and Girls Last Tour. So
Nice.
3 of those will be coming out in January, which I am super hyped for that Hiseki no Kuni Blu-ray to come out, because that show deserves to be to be shown in that.
The steelbook that they announced looks good. It's pre-order. Oh, it's only $52. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That artwork looks really good.
What are these noises you're making? I don't like
The
that.
artwork for the steelbook looks really good. It's got.
I saw it. It says that the art on it isn't final, so I'd like to see if they changed it or not. But what they do have there is really nice.
Yeah,
That placeholder or whatever, I like it.
it's good art. It's good art. I have not watched. Well, I've watched Girls Last Tour, but I haven't watched like the rest of the other shows. So.
Did you finish Girls Last Tour?
I did.
You did. It ends really well, doesn't it?
It does. It
That's
made me
good.
feel sad.
Well, the end of the anime is kind of uplifting though. Like it's like sad, but it's not.
I guess.
James, did you actually finish it, or are you lying to me right now? Am I gonna have to fight you in real life?
James about to be exposed, y'all.
No, hold on.
James, what happens at the end of
the
Girls Last Tour?
ending? I didn't see it, so this doesn't do anything for me. What happens to the ending?
All right, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, real quick for Girls Last Tour. What I remember of the ending is they get to the top of. It was a tower, right? Fuck.
Wait, no, the end of the anime. The anime didn't finish the manga because the manga ended after the anime ended.
Wait, what? I thought that was the end of the. What am I remembering?
So you lied. Nice.
Well, no, hold on. I'm not intentionally lying. I genuinely remember they reached the top, and they're like, "Oh, we're the last humans on Earth." Like that was the realization.
Yeah, that was the end of the manga. The anime ends with the chapter where they're in the nuclear submarine, and then there's like
What?
and then there's like the giant like mushroom people that eat the ammunition.
Okay, stop. Just stop, because I've already not. Okay. Whoa.
So you
I
did-
guess-
I think because I explained the manga ending to you at one point because you asked me and you just assumed that you finished it because you knew the manga ending.
I guess I'm finishing the girl's last tour today, after the podcast. All right.
Oh,
That's.
jeez.
I mean, that's not a bad way to end the night. I guess. I'm sorry. I did. Oof. Oh, okay. My bad. What's
Things
the
over here.
What's the opposite of deja vu? Alzheimer's.
Jamais vu. Actually,
Well, yeah, but that's already that's. Yeah. Fuck. Anyway, Dark Phoenix. The Dark Phoenix trailer came out. And I mean, it's all right.
I actually didn't even see it. I didn't even
I didn't
care.
care enough to watch it. I mostly put it on there because I thought George was gonna be on here because I don't like the X-Men and I don't give a shit about Dark Phoenix, especially from how she was handled in Age
Claude
of
over here
Apocalypse.
saying he doesn't care about gay people and/or other minorities.
Wait,
What?
what? Oh, because that's what the X-Men are a metaphor, analogy.
Allegory. is the word.
Allegory.
All right, for people who have paid attention, which you guys, both of you should know this, I hate with a hard
Jews
passion
and
Cyclops.
gays. Oh,
Yeah. But also
now,
minorities.
who's the foil to him? Who's the number one character paired up with Cyclops?
Jean Grey.
Yes, meaning that he will have some major play in this. Meaning I don't give a shit what happens in this movie.
Maybe he's dead.
I wish
No.
if they just went for an
he's-
X-Men
he's
3
not
again,
dead.
I'd
He's in
clap.
he's in the trailer.
Here, he dies off screen.
He's in the trailer.
I think he died in the first like 3 minutes of the movie.
I didn't even know he was dead when I saw the X-Men Last Stand the first time because he dies off screen. It's so like, where the fuck is Cyclops? What happened?
He's in the.
We're
trailer.
talking about X3.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying he was in the trailer for Dark Phoenix.
But yeah, well, he was because what the joke is that he's also in Apocalypse. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
So so he's not dead in this universe.
He's a little fucking shit character.
Unfortunately.
Why are you?
Wait,
why are
He's
you-
a terrible
I
character.
forget who even plays Jean Grey in the new movies.
The one who played
Uh,
Sansa Stark in Game of Thrones. I forgot her
Oh,
name.
that's right. It's her. Sophie Turner. That's her name.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, Sophie Turner. Yeah. Did y'all see that that James McAvoy? McAvoy, is that how you pronounce his name?
I don't know how to pronounce his name. But that's how it's spelled. So
He said he'd like to play as a young Picard in like a
James McAvoy. That's
James
all I'm gonna say.
McAvoy. He'd want to play a young Jean-Luc Picard. I don't know why I pronounce Picard like that. A young Picard in a Star Trek the Next Generation movie.
No, I never cared for Star Trek, so I don't know nothing about nothing. In it.
Wasn't
Did you know they're bringing back Did you know they're bringing back Jean-Luc Picard for
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
yeah.
say. Like, didn't they just announce that Picard's being brought back for another show?
yes.
Like Patrick Stewart is being brought back to play Jean-Luc Picard in the show. That's what I meant to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is coming back for this 80-year-old man. This poor 80-year-old man who's probably gonna oh man, I hope that's not gonna become like a fucking I hope that's not gonna be like a huge action show like the other one was. Did that get canceled? No, it didn't. Anyway, yeah, whatever. Yeah, Dark Phoenix trailer is a thing. The Dark Phoenix shows up. Go fucking figure. And guess it's probably gonna. I wonder if it's gonna end with no more mutants. I kind of want it to end with no more
Why?
mutants. Be funny.
James asking for the genocide of a whole peoples.
Why that specifically, James?
Because isn't that what everybody hates?
But that wasn't Dark Phoenix that did that.
That was Jean Grey that did it. Yes.
That was Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, it was Scarlet Witch.
I thought that was Jean Grey the whole time. My bad.
It was not. Different redheaded girl.
Then who? Wait, so that was
Same as
Scarlet.
racist.
So that was Scarlet Witch who killed everybody in X3.
Wait,
doesn't every-
all right, now you're mixing
What?
things. I'm talking about continuity for people like there being no more mutants. Because that wasn't
Right.
the plot of X3.
What? Well, okay, but there is a movie in which I watch fucking Professor X just dissipate. What movie is that?
That was X3.
That's X3.
That was she was just disintegrating people because she was strong. If you're talking about
Oh.
like no more mutants, that was Scarlet Witch from the comics, not from the movies.
Oh, I thought those were the same thing. My bad.
Those are vastly different, but okay.
Well, you know. Let's just move on to the Joker movie, which already kind of won me over with that trailer. Which I don't know if you guys remember. The one where it's just with the one where it's just like it's like silent, except for like the back, like it's just like cars passing by a scene that's playing out.
Wait,
I
which
like
trailer are
that.
you talking about?
For the Joker. It was
Oh. Yeah, it actually was a decent. Like, I actually like Joaquin Phoenix. I think he could do it. I'm actually kind of excited for this movie.
Yeah, this honestly looks fine from like what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Like my girl sent me like a picture of like a collage of all the Jokers and who they've been portrayed by, and she was like, "What the hell is happening? Who is this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, no." I had to explain it, and I was like, "I really appreciate just a different take, because it'd be too easy to just be like, oh, it's the Joker again, like just
Yeah.
regular face paint that we know and all that shit." Like,
Yeah.
do something different. Don't be scared to do something different, as long as it's not bad. Just
I want
explore.
my art house film Joker, to be honest. I'm hoping that's what this is gonna be. I want this just fucking weird.
Why you gotta buy an art house memes?
I don't know. I just want a weird movie set in the DC universe, like a genuinely weird movie that's good.
That'd be sure. Yeah, I mean, I feel like when I want weird comic book shit, I don't want like fucking quote unquote artsy comic book shit. I want the dumbest comic book shit ever. That's what I want.
I really
I want
You
my
like Batman,
Spider-Verse.
Superman?
damn.
No, that was fucking
Damn.
terrible.
We
Like-
said
like-
we did put the caveat of good movies. We did
Yeah,
we did say that.
I'm saying that I want like fucking Spider-Verse shit. Like I want like Japanese Spider-Man popping out with his giant robot, and then they cut over it, and Spider-Man dies in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and the kid's like, "What the fuck?"
So you're a big fan of Batman Ninja.
Yes, actually.
I love it.
I don't remember. I'm unfortunately not remembering the name. I think it's like A Night in Arkham or something. But the premise is that Batman is like forced to spend a whole night in
I think
Arkham
that
Asylum,
is A Night in Arkham. Yeah. I actually
And
haven't read that,
it's-
but I've been planning to.
and it's done in such like a beautiful like watercolor aesthetic that I just love. And when they have him confronting the Joker, it's just the colors are mixing in together. It's just really like kinetic in a way, just because of how they've painted everything, and it's really fucking good. I want more of that.
Yeah, I've heard that run is really cool, or whatever, that book or whatever. I heard it's really good. I just haven't had a chance to read it.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't give half a shit about dumb, like comic book schlock stuff. Like it's whatever. I can just read
I
that.
actually liked Apocalypse because it was dumb comic book schlock. Like that's what I want, kind of. That movie was fun to me because it was terrible.
I gotcha. I would love to see a comic book movie actually do something. Oh god, this is gonna sound really, but like
You're gonna be
profound.
Pretentious
Really-
on me right now,
really,
James.
really pretentious on these comic book movies, man. Which it would be nice, like if like a comic book movie does something like actually good and not just good for a
Got
comic
him.
book movie.
Damn God, I'm good.
You know what I mean, though. You know what you might.
I'm good.
Good
Yeah.
for a comic book movie and good are different things. And
I don't know. I feel
I
like
feel like good
the
is
Dark-
good, like just in terms of
I
how
feel
you
like
handle
I
your
feel like
storytelling.
not
the
with how
Dark
these
Knight
comic
was
books
good.
are.
The Dark
Dark-
Knight was good.
Yeah, it was very good.
That was good.
That's good.
But like all of these Marvel movies and stuff, like I wouldn't say I can't, except for Homecoming, maybe. No, not even Homecoming. Not even
No,
Homecoming.
I think Homecoming is a legit good movie.
It is. No, I would not say it's a good comic book movie. I say it was a good movie. Like,
Yeah,
like
I also
you don't need to distinct it. Versus like when you look at like Doctor Strange, where it's like it's a good comic book movie. Like there is a difference.
Fucking Ant-Man. Fucking Ant-Man.
Oh, that's a bad comic book movie.
That actually movie wasn't bad. I think
that. I don't know what you're talking about.
it was just the most average of them.
I thought it was.
Yeah,
really
it is.
boring.
It is a passing comic book movie. It's not doesn't do anything spectacular. Doesn't do anything terrible. It is passable.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, I would like to see more good comic book movies instead of they're good movies instead of just good comic book movies.
What do you guys think
I
about
hope-
Sin City?
I haven't seen.
I
Sin
actually
City.
have never seen Sin City.
I really like those movies, or at least the first one. I don't know about the second one.
I appreciate.
I have
its-
heard
it-
very good things about it.
I appreciate its art direction, with like the high contrast black and white, and then like only certain elements like reds and yellows being emphasized. I really like that.
As a
boy,
child-
yeah, yellow.
As a child, I saw the bit with Jessica Alba a lot for reasons.
When you said the bit, which part of
You
the torture?
her bits.
no.
Her bits.
Yeah, I
And
watched
yes,
the
the
torture
torture.
a lot as a child because I really liked that when I was a little kid. That was my favorite part.
I didn't
know,
realize
you
we
could be
had
this little Skylar the sociopath. I don't know what you had going on in that age.
little baby Stewie.
Little baby psychopath Skylar. Just I fucking love it.
It's like, yeah, cut her. Like, I'm like, damn, Skylar.
Cut that bitch.
Why do you think I'm like this? What,
I don't know, Skylar. Why are you like this? Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
it was you.
Oh,
You
damn.
did me.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. It did hurt you. You know what else hurts? 10 million yen, which Nintendo won against the Mario Kart business.
That was a good segue. That was a good segue for you.
Thank you.
It actually was pretty good.
Anyway, so apparently some Tokyo go-kart business has been like letting people go-kart in around town and like Nintendo character themed go-karts. And Nintendo put a stop to that because
I don't know if you want me to tell the story because I actually know about the company and all that.
yeah, go ahead. Real quick. 10 million yen is $89,000. Now go ahead.
It's 89,000. Fuck,
Yep.
that's way. Okay. Yeah. So Mari Car is the name of the company. This is something that, like, when I'm going next year, that I was considering, like, if I wanted to do it, especially one of the tours. But basically, it's like, hey, we have these go karts, and depending on what you want to pay and where you want to go, we have multiple different tours, and it's just a tour around Tokyo while just riding go karts. And it looks cool as shit. I've seen a couple of videos, like when they were, I forgot the name of the bridge, but it looked gorgeous. I was like, man, this seems like it would be a lot of fun, especially. And like, they do have costumes. Not all of it is just like Mario or Nintendo characters, but they do have a lot of those. And of course, it's called Mario Kart from Mario Kart. And then Nintendo was like, stop it, you're not doing this anymore. And they're like, but the tourists love it. And I was like, well, do you love this lawsuit? And then the lawsuit ensued. And now Nintendo has won. Lawsuit costing them, like James mentioned, 10 million yen, and that makes me feel super bad because, like, I hope that this thing they just can rebrand, because I don't know how much they make or how much that is for them, because that's ridiculous. And I really hope they can at least still continue the tours and all that, because it does seem like a good time, even if it's not Nintendo themed.
Yeah. Or what if, just maybe, they all starve to death, poor and homeless?
I kind of regret that I gave you props on segueing into this, and then you find a way to disappoint me so quickly.
I don't know why you'd think I would be anything but disappointing.
He's
Just
true.
saying.
He's right. I'm not sure why you think that either, Claude.
Because he had a good segue. Maybe things were turning around for James.
No, you can never get your hopes up. You have to wait for a trend to happen. You can if he does one good thing, you have to assume it's by accident.
Yeah. I guess.
That was like a thoughtful pause.
But I do appreciate the golf clap. It was nice.
I don't think
So
you deserve a golf clap, to be honest.
that's whatever. It's whatever. But moving on, the Death Stranding trailer came out at TGS. It's really short.
It's like a minute and some change, right?
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
minute
that's
18.
some bullshit. I said.
Yeah, it's some bullshit. But goddamn.
It had a whole fucking stage.
Was it a
did
boss
they?
fight?
It has to be. It has to be a boss fight.
Yeah.
Like you look at this trailer and you tell me that's not some boss shit.
This
The guy
trailer
that's-
announcing Troy Baker.
Yeah, that is what this is doing, isn't it?
The existence of Troy Baker.
And then oh god, what an opening to a boss fight too, because it even tells you it looks easy, just don't get hit. And that there you go.
I actually that character is fucking cool.
Yeah, the
Like,
mask is great.
as much as I'm gonna complain about the trailer being a minute long, and they had like a whole thing like, yeah, just this center has a stage at TGS, and that's all they showed.
Maybe they showed gameplay behind the scenes.
Maybe.
Only a legendary, legendarily small amount of people ever actually got hands-on time with the game.
Yeah, but we do know that this is in engine and in gameplay, because you said that they have said that everything we've seen is gameplay, so that's fine. But yeah, Troy Baker's in the video game. That's cool. Troy Baker's a cool guy.
Who wouldn't thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? Who would have even thought that even Troy Baker can be put in a Kojima game? It's not like he's ever been in one before, recently, or otherwise. Anyway, Sony enabled crossplay for Fortnite.
Wait, before we move on, I want to kind of
Okay.
talk about the new Transformers movie, actually.
What new Transformers movie?
What?
Did you guys Transformers Bumblebee? Have you guys not?
Oh,
you guys not
I've
I
not
blocked
been-
that from memory.
because
I forgot.
the thing I really want to talk about is because it actually looks good.
Does
If
it?
you guys have seen trailers for it, yeah, it's not Michael Bay is directing it. It's being done by
But he's
person who
yeah.
it's the person who directed Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh,
Right.
now I care.
Oh.
So it looks decent. Like the designs are all changed, so they look like fucking things now instead of lumping horrible masses of metal.
That
Like
makes
there's even like
music.
it even teased like the way they tease Optimus Prime in this new trailer is really sick because you just kind of see him like be like a fucking like scratchy
Just a
ass
Bumblebee trailer.
fucking like hologram. You can clearly see that it's his classic like fucking cartoon design. Like it's the old one from the old TV show from the 80s.
Okay, I'm playing it.
And it actually looks like pretty good. Fucking sound waves in the trailer. It's good. It's good stuff. So I'm like kind of excited for it. Like it might not be awful.
James, do you like Transformers?
I
Not Michael Bay, just Transformers in general.
I couldn't give half a shit about Transformers, to be honest. Sorry.
I see.
Why?
I mean, we're on the topic of it, so I'm asking.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have any advanced thoughts on Transformers. I prefer Hot Rod over Bumblebee. That's it. I was really mad when the first Transformers movie came out because I was really excited for Hot Rod and I never got him. Like even a
I guess
smidgen.
Starscream's my favorite, so like that works
I mean-
for me.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got yours, but the real victims out here, we're still suffering. So whatever.
James out here waiting for that Beast Wars movie.
Oh boy,
I never saw Beast Wars.
I
I loved Beast Wars as a kid.
I never got a chance to watch Beast Wars as a kid. I only ever watched like G1 or whatever the animated cartoon was. for the
Like
theme.
Optimus Primal is like the best way you could work that name into that era.
It actually is. It actually is amazing. Optimus Primal is like a godlike.
That is a good name.
I'm also a big fan of Waspinator. Like, Waspinator is.
Waspinator, Sting.
Yeah. His voice is so bad. I love it.
Waspinator.
Starscream was a raptor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's appropriate.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that
that's
up.
okay.
It actually wasn't a trailer for it, and it looks like I'm tentatively excited for it. So like, there's that. I wanted to make it known that it existed, and I was happy with it.
I can't wait for it to bomb.
No, China will save it no matter what.
You're right, China will save it. China saved Transformers from planet-sized objects moving at the speed of light. It'll save it from this.
What?
I was
What?
making a callback
To what?
to one of our podcast titles.
Oh.
So-
Was that one where we talked about Transformers?
Yeah, it was when I spoiled. You weren't there actually. It was one with George and Claude only. I think, pretty sure. Yeah, I just talked like I had watched the Transformers movies, and in the last one, Omicron is falling onto Earth, and parts of him like actually land on Earth, and that they're
Omicron.
Hey,
Unicron.
I couldn't tell if that was on purpose or not.
Omicron was the name of the planet they originate from. My mistake. So
Cybertron.
No. Cybertron.
Omicron.
Omicron is the David Cage game, you fuck.
Oh, God. Okay.
Dude, it's completely falling apart.
Unicron is falling onto Earth, and yeah.
I thought the whole thing was Unicron was Earth, and Cybertron
You're right.
was falling into Earth.
Cybertron. I'm sorry.
You saw this movie. I didn't even. How are you messing this up?
Because it's been so long, and I try to just delete Michael Bay out of my head immediately. Like it gets the super Alzheimer's treatment.
That's the dumbest.
Did they reuse Orson Welles' voice lines for Unicron in this movie?
No,
here's the
Unicron.
thing. So it's
What?
Cybertron that's the thing.
Yeah,
Unicron,
Cybertron is falling.
Because he explained this,
Oh.
like the Unicron is Earth.
Yeah,
It's
they
just-
revealed that at the very end.
What?
Yes, it's as
Yep.
dumb as you think.
Yeah,
What?
Unicron is
Are you
Unicron is
fucking-
Earth.
Wow, that's awful.
Yeah, it's real
Yeah.
Really
bad.
bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, so Cybertron is falling onto Earth, and parts of Cybertron actually land on Earth, but they are moving at a speed, like at close to the speed of light, and fucking oh god, they're the size of like extinction event should have happened like 3 times over in that movie, but it didn't because fuck me. I don't really want to talk about it anymore. Can we talk about something more interesting?
I do, because I want to tell Sky one other thing that you told me that you didn't want to focus on this part for some reason. When I was like, this is the dumbest of anything, is in the end of that movie, the moon was destroyed, but that didn't have any effect on Earth.
Nope.
Oh, they
Did not.
Well, so it's like Dragon Ball then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
There's
wish the
not a
moon
dog
back.
as president, so the stupidity isn't all encompassing.
Damn. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, let's move on to Bowsette, something infinitely more interesting. So Bowsette was a Twitter meme that happened after the latest Nintendo Direct.
God
when-
like Twitter meme.
So the Super Crown is a thing in the new Super Mario's U Deluxe game that turns Toadette into Peachette. So one fan made a comic in which after the wedding in Mario Odyssey, Peach refuses Bowser and I'm explaining this because I don't have it recorded for like a video. Refuses Mario and Bowser. They're upset. Bowser pulls out the Super Crown. Next thing you know, they're at Super Mario Aces. Bowser is a hot peach. That's all it is.
With big
then
titties.
big titties, and Twitter fucking exploded. Endless, actually endless. I think they're still being made. Lewds.
Yes, they have
being
not stopped.
of Bowsette, and it's evolved into now we're getting fucking chompat, fucking booette, whatever.
Bluray is the best one, low key.
Yeah,
I'll be
agree.
honest. I'll be honest. I prefer the original, but I can respect booette. But I
The
need
one
my
in
fire.
concept I love a lot. Even I've only ever seen like once. Is Shy Girl.
Well, yeah, but that's
Yeah.
separate. Shy Girl has always existed. 'Cause
Yeah,
my-
Shy Girl's been a thing for a while.
Yeah,
I do like Shy Girl though.
yeah. But yeah, Shy Girl's good. I'm not appreciating that we've got some fucking non-sexy Bowsettes here in this thing I'm looking at, where it's just like a old. I don't know. It's not bad, I guess. It's just whatever. I'll post them later on.
It's whatever.
on
It's fine.
Discord.
Like the thing about this is that it blows my mind. Like it's one thing where it's like, hey, people
Yeah, the
are
real reason
losing
why
their
it's
minds
here.
over it. But like the fact that it makes Nintendo as a company worth more money, the fact this person did some OC thing.
Yeah,
is,
that's
like,
the important
godlike.
thing, right?
Mhm.
Is the important thing is that their fucking stock raised after
Mm.
after the Bowsette. It's trending #1 in Twitter, and their fucking stock price went up bigger than it did during
The last direct.
Their last direct. So like, that's fucked, man. This Twitter meme literally made your company's value increase, even if temporarily. That's fucking godlike. So
And the thing is, which I feel like maybe they'll jump to this. Did you see that in the Mario Odyssey art book that came out that there was an unused concept for like a female Bowser, and
Mhm.
like people online after seeing that they were like, we don't care what you say it's gonna be called. We're calling it Bowsette. Like, do you guys know about that?
I have seen the design. I've not heard much outside of that.
And you, Skylar?
yeah, I've seen it. We talked about it last
Okay.
night.
Damn.
I mean, we talked about it, but I'm saying, have you like seen those things, like the panels for
Oh
it?
yeah, I have seen it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, to explain to James, you mentioned you saw like the design for it. It was in the Mario Odyssey like art book, and it's just a couple of panels for a scrapped idea. And it starts off with Bowser having a green cap that has a K on it for Koopa instead and for Mario. And as you know, in Mario Odyssey, when you throw the cap on someone, you possess them, and they get a stupid mustache and a big old nose, and So what happened in that comic, or I guess the unused idea that they had, was he threw that at Peach, and then you get like she's wearing she doesn't look anything the same as like the OC Bowsette, but like
Yeah.
the concept for a female Bowser is on record having existed. So I feel like if anything, that's the closest we'll get to that being official. Because while I'd love for the meme to become real, that meme mostly exists as lewd shit, and I don't think they're gonna do. Have you guys seen that Masahiro's Sakurai's like Twitter for a while?
It's
was
just
exploded with
full
nothing
of
but Bowsette
Bowsette.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It fucked. It's actually great. I'm excited about it.
I am too.
Also, I also want to mention that I really love all of the Japanese people tweeting at the original person who made the comic, giving him
Mhm.
words of encouragement.
Mhm.
'Cause
Yeah.
all the most wholesome shit ever. They're all just like, "Don't
There's
be
one
scared."
example
About...
you used yesterday. Do you remember what it was? When I was like, "That's
Yeah.
the best."
The guy said, "You built the road, and we came running."
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
so fucking good. Yeah, I love it. I also love that one guy was like, "You made this character and it has all the things that Japan likes: big titties, sharp teeth, and big eyebrows." And I was like, "That's fucking amazing."
Why does Japan like thick eyebrows so much?
I don't know. I also
but
can
Sasuke is
appreciate
the best
thick
character in Kill la
eyebrows.
Kill. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and now is one of the best idol masters. So that's true.
I feel like Sasuke's best girl despite her eyebrows, not because of them.
No, they
It's
definitely work.
all encompassing.
Also, James, are you gonna deny Mugi? Is that what you're gonna telling me?
Mugi is good despite her eyebrows.
No, Mugi's eyebrows are the strongest part of her design. There's that fucking joke where they peel them off and they're just pickles. It's so good.
Oh, what? What?
Because it was a dream sequence, but they peel off her eyebrows and they're just sliced pickles. It's good. It's good. Bit.
Why are they pickles? Pickles don't look like that. Pickles are green.
Right, no, but you could. Don't worry about it. You should look it up. It's a good bit. Anyway, eyebrow girls are good.
Mm-hmm.
Eyebrows are irrelevant. But
I disagree.
Well, you've been wrong in the past.
Shave your eyebrows off.
Me? No.
Eyebrows are for dorks. James doesn't need them.
I thought they were irrelevant though. Shave off your eyebrows. Look like a thumb.
Yeah, but I'm also not a cute anime girl, so I mean it's not relevant to me twice. So whatever. Moving on from eyebrows. TellTale.
Jumping back to community and talk about Sony's PlayStation Mini.
Oh.
Yeah, you jumped
What?
that.
Bish.
Bish. So,
Oh wow, we completely missed the. Yeah, we mentioned the. It's not. Wait, that's not on here. The mini's not on here. It's not on the docket at all. Wow. Way to go. Damn.
James, what do you see between? Because it's pinned. What do you see between Death Stranding and Bowsette? I'm gonna need you to read for a second. I know this.
I see literally nothing. It's a blank space. Please look at it.
So I have the thing about enabling crossplay, and I could. Is this not? Is something happen?
It's not there.
No,
Do you not-
God.
It's
Oh,
not
no,
even there on the
where-
pin either.
Who's right? Who's wrong?
How
No one
the-
knows.
You
No.
don't have anything for Sony because I do have the Sony crossplay thing for Fortnite. Whatever.
What? No. Do I
Yeah,
like?
there,
I'll
no,
take a
there
screenshot.
it actually is a blank space. Like there's like an extra space there.
I guess there's an issue. That all right, whatever. Continue on.
Sony doesn't want you to know about the PlayStation Mini. Sony announced the PlayStation Mini. It's gonna have some games on it. It's gonna have 20 games. Some of the ones we know about are. I feel like I already talked about this.
Tekken 3.
Tekken
and
3,
Final
Final Fantasy 7,
the Ridge Racer.
Ridge Racer.
I think maybe I'm retarded. Maybe it's Jet Moto's other one is what I meant to say.
Yeah. It'll probably have Castlevania. It'll probably have Resident Evil or Silent Hill or both if you're lucky. Yeah, I mean it's a PlayStation Mini. Hopefully Sony doesn't fucking undersell you or understock you like Nintendo did. That's about it.
Things that nobody cares about or wants.
Yeah, pretty much.
For 500 hours per back.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So yeah, and then also I already said this, but you kind of skipped it. Sony enabled crossplay, whatever. TellTale.
That's pretty significant. That's not whatever.
I mean, it is significant, but until we see it with other titles, I'm not gonna care. Until we see
The thing is, this opens the door for more of them to happen because they were super. I actually didn't see why they did recently put out a press conference as to why they waited as long as they did to do it. But the fact that this exists means other things can exist in the future, so that's something to note.
I mean,
I don't care because it's Fortnite, but you know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like they're probably only doing it for Fortnite because people yell.
No,
about
they
it.
actually did say in a press conference. Maybe they're lying, but they did say that now that they're trying this out, that there are plans to move it onto different games.
Well, I mean, I guess that's good.
They did say it, so that's a thing, but it could be a lie.
It could also just be a lie. So yeah. Trying to move on again. TellTale, which, as we all know, recently filed for bankruptcy and fired almost all of its staff except for a team of 25 people that are working on the fucking Minecraft story mode show for Netflix, is now facing a class action lawsuit.
Poor souls.
Yeah, fucking poor bastards. Now facing a class action lawsuit because it broke labor laws. So people didn't get their severance pay.
People didn't get shit.
Yep. Didn't get a warning.
Clementine's voice actress didn't even know she didn't have a job until she saw online that they were closing.
That's rough.
Yep. It's pretty bad. She saw on like Twitter. She's like, wait, what? That also happened. That also happened with who else closed down recently? Fucking
Capcom Vancouver?
No,
Yes.
Bosky.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
Well, they knew.
Yeah.
Everyone knew.
No, that dude on Twitter didn't know that he didn't have a job. He was like,
that dude on
I
Twitter.
don't believe there's anyone on
Well,
Earth who pays attention
there-
slightly to see how they were doing, because we all know that Lawbreakers was a flop, and then they jumped
Well, no,
instantly.
No.
I mean, like,
That was the
it's
thing.
easy that you could make the call that they're going to close down. I'm talking about the devs didn't know that the company had folded until they saw the article
Oh,
about
yeah,
it on
okay.
Twitter.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was,
we talked about that.
it was like, yeah, it was that fucking, what's his name? Cliffy B put out a thing on Twitter that said company's closing down. They're like, what?
Like, oh,
And so that's it's the same kind of deal, where they learned about it via fucking social media.
so to kind of go into clarification of like how the labor laws are broken, according to Robert's suit, Vernie Roberts being the person who initiated this lawsuit, when TellTale laid off hundreds of its employees without notice, it violated the WARN Act. This legislation mandates that companies must notify employees at least 60 days before any mass layoffs. The WARN Act defines a mass layoff as losing either 500 employees within 30 days or 50 to 499 employees if they make up at least 33% of the employee's active workforce. TellTale exceeded that second number exponentially, laying off roughly 250 employees without proper notification last week, with a skeleton crew of 25 staying on for a few extra weeks. So, yeah, it's rough.
It's pretty not good.
It's pretty not
Pretty
good.
awful.
We did get out of this one dude on Twitter who still had access to like the tools they use for making the games, who went in and made like a funny like scene with Lee in The Walking Dead season 1, where like he was
Yeah.
looking for food. Huh?
When you get to Giant and shit.
Yeah, where he gets giant and
He
shit.
shoots lasers out of his mouth.
Yeah, that's the only good thing we got out of this. But hopefully, all the people from TellTale they bounce back or something. Cause fuck.
Good boy.
What? Thank you, Zeke. Thank you, Zeke, for the enlightening commentary. On
Whatever.
This
Let the boy live, okay?
I am letting the boy live. He provided some really good intake on that article, and you know, more than you did, Skylar. Why can't you be more like Zeke? This is why we pay Zeke the good bucks. You know,
That's true.
you're out there getting fired like on a warning, like without a warning, on a whim.
Getting fired.
Getting fired. You're getting fired. Yeah. So guys, I didn't want to tell you this until later, but you know, Skylar's leaving the DADcast. He left like 3 minutes ago.
Down in the
So-
depths, I've been banished.
into the shadow realm. Not even George
I
can
guess-
rescue from that.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
man, this is just evolving. Let's just move on to
Please
learning
con-
with
please
James.
continue. Let us
What-
move on.
What am I learning about, Claude? What am I learning about? what am I teaching?
I like how you
people
keep
today?
saying, "What are you learning about?" All right, there you go. Now you fixed it. You're gonna
No,
teach us.
No, what am I
about
learning
Nier.
about? Oh, this like
About
one
what?
near automata
Nier.
or near, and then near automata also.
Oh, god damn it.
Alright,
Fuck.
All right, this one, okay, this one I'm pretty confident in, thankfully. So, if
This
we're
that
just
makes me feel, that does not make me feel better, by the way.
I know it's not supposed to, but
I'm gonna get out my notepad so I can take notes.
okay. So, Nier as a universe takes place in the as an offshoot of ending E of Drakengard 1, in which Kaim and his dragon, which I forget the name of, fall into Tokyo and defeat a giant woman, to say it best, through a really poorly made what's the word, music based mini game. I'm forgetting the word. Rhythm game.
Yeah.
Thank you. Rhythm, that thing I don't have. Yes, rhythm game. He then gets shot down and they land on top of, it's either, I think it's Tokyo Tower or Kyoto Tower. It's a significant, the tower is significant in terms of it's a landmark of the city. I believe it's Tokyo Tower. Anyway, so their bodies were recovered at some point, but we don't know what happened to them. The giant woman disintegrates into a salt-like substance. It's not actually salt, but it's like a white snowy thing, and this is like a magical essence sort of thing that exists in the Drakengard world, but not initially in the human world, the reality that we would be familiar with. Then on contact with a person causes them to go catatonic, if I'm recalling correctly. Go catatonic, and what's essentially happening to them is they're having to make a deal with a god or some sort of like otherworldly entity, where they either agree to be enslaved by them and they become an entity, like a part of a legion, who you would recognize through like red eyes, or they turn into pillars of salt. Well, not pillars of salt, but like their bodies essentially turn to a stone, and it's like a salty looking substance. I am forgetting what the process of this is called, unfortunately, but as a way to try and stop this process, initially that city that the events that last boss fight takes place in is quarantined, and then that expands to Japan, and then it gets worse when they decide to, we'll just nuke Japan, thus spreading that globally. The magical incense spreads globally, thus infecting the entire Earth. And then the Gestalt project starts. The Gestalt project essentially being, well, we're going to try and transfer human consciousness into a different body, a non-organic. No, it is an organic body, I believe. Yes, it's an organic. Yeah, I don't know. It's a body, transferring their consciousness to a different body. What ends up happening is, let's see, it was the Gestalt, and then I'm forgetting the other word, but there's a word that they use to describe the other entity. But a Gestalt is essentially like the initial body that you have, and then the second body has a different name. Or I'm getting that reverse. I think I'm getting that reverse, because why would it be called the Gestalt project? So Gestalts are the bodies that you get transferred into. And what ends up happening is that due to an error in programming, the Gestalt bodies ended up becoming self-aware. When a Gestalt body becomes self-aware, the soul or consciousness of the person cannot be transferred over, and the person essentially loses their identity, kind of. They lose their sapience. And then they become a different being that I am unfortunately forgetting the name of, but they're the enemies you fight in Nier 1. And you find out kind of all this through the process of like playing the game's different endings, and like during the second ending, you get to actually hear what some key characters, like key they're monsters to everybody in the game, but they're not. They're the initial humans. You actually get to hear like their thoughts and their feelings, and how they're actual people instead of just like mindless monsters like you thought. Even like a wolf one has like a sense of like people and having an owner and having somebody that loved it, and it was that was like a really impactful boss once you get to it. So the events of Nier 1. Nier 1, you play as, in the American version, you play as a dog-faced old man trying to, save his daughter from an illness. His daughter, who looks funnily enough like Sunny from Metal Gear Solid. Anyway, so he's trying to save his daughter from the Black Scrawl. The Black Scrawl, which is an illness, which starts I'm going to call it the saltification process, but it's not what it's called in the game. It's called something completely different. I'm just going to call it the saltification process to make it easier in my head. The Black Scroll is an illness, which shows that the body is deteriorating, essentially, because the twist in Nier is that everybody you've met in the game that isn't a monster is actually the Gestalt. That has become self-aware, and the black scroll is showing that the body is deteriorating, and that it'll eventually die. So your main mission in the whole game is to try and find a cure. So you're going through all these different situations. You end up finding a book named Vice. Vice is a magical book who was crucial to a different project that the same people who were working on the Skull project were working on. Skylar typed up.
I didn't mean to post that. I was trying to click enter. Don't read it.
Okay.
I'm using it to take notes in the thing.
So am I. I'm doing the same thing.
Okay. Is it really bad so far? Is it really bad so far?
It's not. It could be worse.
You're doing better than I would have expected.
Okay. Well. Okay. So along the way we meet Vice, a magical book who is another initial human, who he went through his own shit. I kind of don't want to talk about what he goes through just because it's a really cool story about him. I'd suggest like watching a Let's Play or playing it yourself if you have it, or just something, because I don't want to talk too much about character backgrounds outside of like basic stuff. He's a magical book. He has amnesia because of reasons. You find his pages, and you get spells from that, and he gets more powerful. You meet Kaine, who is a really cool, interesting character. She's a very foul-mouthed but scantily clad woman, or foul-mouthed and scantily clad, but doesn't really work there. There's a really interesting background with her. And then you meet Emil, who is not a core character in Nier Automata, but he does show up in a way. So Emil is a blind a boy who whenever he looks at turns to stone. He is also an initial human along with his sister. He covers himself his eyes so he doesn't turn anybody else to stone. He ends up fighting his sister, who is like a weird like nuclear weapon sort of thing. She's not a nuclear weapon, but she's an ultimate weapon of sorts. And he fights her, and he has to defeat her. And through some weird science magic bullshit, they kind of fuse together in a way. And he kind of adopts a lot of her appearance. She has this big, like round stone skull or head, and he gets that and has like a skeleton body. And he's like 12 or like 14 or something, so really young. So like that's a really traumatic thing for a small child to go through. And you kind of see that's Nier 1 is so good after I'm remembering all this shit. Fuck. Anyway. Everybody, Nier, who's the name of your main character, Nier, Kaine, Emil, and Vice, they all continue the mission. They're going around defeating bosses. They meet a really cool sand village that has a bunch of dumb, funny rules. A boss that I'm forgetting the name of, I think it's called Gretel or Hansel. It's named. All the bosses are named after fairy tales, but I think this one is named Gretel. But I'm probably mistaken on that one. In order, you don't even really defeat it. What happens is you block it inside of a room, and Kaine like holds it down, and she tells Emil like, "We're not gonna be able to beat this thing. You have to just turn me into stone, and I'll seal the door." Emil does. It's really traumatic. It's really sad. Time skip happens. Nier in his new weird fetish mask, and Emil have been just kind of doing stuff for, I think it's a couple of years now, or at least a number of months. They've just been trying to find out. Oh, that's right. That's right. During that boss fight, or right before that boss fight, your daughter gets kidnapped by the Demon Lord, I think is his name, who looks suspiciously just like you for some reason. Fun fact. And then the boss fight happens, and then the time skip happens, and you're trying to find a lead on the Demon Lord, but you're not able to because things happen. Then you're finally able to. You kind of go through all the levels again, have a really nice like story moment, like storybook moment, in which like you're like actively everything goes dark and you're just reading text, and that was a really interesting way for them to do that. If not a little boring. End up fighting the Demon Lord the first time, and you kill him like immediately. And then your daughter, kind of doesn't. Well, she get okay. Well, your daughter was actually taken back over by her original consciousness, and then she hugs. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. That happens in the cutscene before the final boss fight. Your daughter, who is actually the Gestalt's daughter, or not the. I'm sorry. You're the Gestalt, and your daughter is already taken over by the initial daughter, who you actually see at the very beginning of the game. And she actually runs past you to hug the Demon Lord, because that's actually the initial Nier, or the person that the Nier that you've been playing as is based off of. So they hug, and then you fight the Demon Lord / Nier 1. You beat him, and then the initial daughter soul consciousness leaves. And you kind of live. You don't get really like a definite ending. For the first time, the final ending, from what I'm remembering, because you play over everything again, you get all this new information. The final ending, Nier sacrifices himself. Sacrifices his entirety, his existence, and every memory of him. To the point where like all of the like text on Vice's pages disappear, because you have no effect on the story. Your existence did not happen, but everything else that did happen did happen. It's kind of like King Crimson in a way, but like on a personal level. And that's kind of the last we see of Papa Nier, or Brother Nier if you're playing the Japanese version. So yeah, that's the ending to Nier 1. Nier Automata takes place.
Oh, no, you're stopping right there. Because that's just gonna be way too long if we do both of them right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, my voice is sore.
Like, fuck, I mean, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but that would add on at least another 15 to 20 minutes if I let you continue it on to Automata. We'll save that for another day.
Okay, can I go with my corrections first? Because I have some.
Yeah,
you
go
can
ahead and post them. Go ahead and post
Okay,
them.
so in or I'm gonna say them out loud. I'm not gonna post them. What the fuck?
Well, you were typing them. I want. Well, yeah, but I want.
So he had records for it. I typed it
so
myself too.
So I can read them, so I don't forget. That's why I typed them, bitch. So the first one I have is that actually we do know what happens to Kaim and Angelus after the game, Drakengard, where the Kaim dies and no one knows what happens to him specifically, but he's dead. But they actually recover Angelus's body and they experiment on her, and that's how they discover how to use magic. So there's that. I have Angelus does not turn into the particle they turn into is not what looks like salt. I forget what it's called, but it's like a fleshy looking substance, and it doesn't look like salt at all. The salt-like substance, or the stuff that looks like snow that you see at the beginning of Nier, is actually salt from all people that turns into salt from the thing.
Right.
Right. I want to say that it's a slight correction about the Gestalt project. It was not about transferring souls to one body specifically. It was about discovering a process to remove the soul from the body. That was the primary goal. It was not like transference, really.
Right. Could you say the name of it again? I'm sorry.
The what? The what?
What?
Oh, I thought you said the name of the process. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, it was just called it was the name of
the
it.
Gestalt project.
Right,
Yeah.
but there was a process that was of the body turning to salt. What was that called?
White chlorination.
Thank you.
Yeah, white chlorination thickness. Yeah, thank you. So yeah. Also, you mixed up the Gestalt and other thing. So the soul is called the Gestalt and the body is called the replicant. Gestalt is a German word, and it means a whole as defined by some of its parts. So it's the soul of the body, right? And I said you said that the enemies that you fight in Nier 1 are not sapient, which is kind of untrue, because you do fight a lot of Gestalts in that game that have like weapons and armor and stuff that are completely sapient. There's even that whole bit in the Veil when you fight those guys and everyone's like, "Why are you killing them? This is my family," Right. Like, that part. So there's that. It's only that when you're out separated from your body for too long that you go crazy, and that's like a process with the thing. I was confused when they said that the saltification was gonna happen with Yona because she has a black scroll, but the black scroll isn't connected at all to Legion or anything like that. It's just like a thing that happens when the replicant is like hasn't been matched with its gestalt for too long, so the body starts to deteriorate and die. Emil is actually really old. He's an original human, which means that he'd been alive for over 1,000 years, because that he was being experimented on during the Gestalt project. So there's that. He is called the Shadow Lord, not the Demon Lord. And then the last one I have is fuck you. The text adventures aren't boring.
Okay. Text adventures are great. Skylar,
no, they're great. They're great.
Oh wait. I also forgot to say that you forgot about Tyrion completely.
Tyrion.
Who is Kainez, the person, the soul? Because Kainez's whole deal is that
Tyrion.
Is that another Gestalt entered her body?
In her body.
Yeah. So
Right.
So Kaine is hermaphrodite, and she also has a male person inside of her.
Well, yeah, but that was part of the like the character background part that I didn't want to talk about.
Yeah. Right.
Like I said, there's an interesting character background about her, and I didn't say it for an explicit reason.
Whatever. But then that's a whole bit in ending C&D is that you have to fight Kaina after you fight the Shadow Lord because Tyrion takes over her body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit shocked you didn't mention Devila or
Popola,
because they're pretty fucking significant. I mean, but you know, are you gonna fight that?
I mean, they are just
actually watching over the entirety of the project, and
but they're not like they're not significant until the very end.
But also Popola is who you like.
She's your quest giver.
Yeah, she's your boy, and then Devil sings the songs in the middle of the town for the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Skylar had a lot of my points. Like the only thing I think he didn't mention that I did, I don't remember when you were talking about Gretel, but Gretel's a really early boss.
Gretel is I just don't remember the boss name, to be honest with you. I remember Beepy. Beepy is the robot boss's name.
Beepy is the best boss in the game.
Also, there's fucking Grimoire Rubrum. Also, I should have corrected you about his name not being Weiss. His name is actually Grimoire Weiss.
Grimoire.
And so if you don't say it like that, then you're saying his name wrong.
Yeah, then you're just talking about Ruby.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's just because in the dialogue he corrects him all the time.
I know. Grimoire Weiss. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember what specifically you said about Gretel, but I remember when you were telling the story, it is
Gretel. Okay, cool.
Super late, like because Gretel is very early on. I think Gretel is a thing when like your daughter wanders off to get something, and you're like, I need to find her, and then you find.
Oh yeah,
that's how you find that. Yeah. No.
Yeah. No. Hansel and Gretel are the two guys that are different.
No, I was referring to the boss fight at the time skip.
Where you fight Gretel again?
Gretel. No, wait. No.
Yeah, it's I forget who you fight again.
It's the big monster, dude. That Kaine hates him.
That's something completely unrelated to Hansel and Gretel.
But that was the monster I was referring to. I was referring to the scene right before the time skip, which is that fight.
Oh, that's a completely different monster.
Yeah, James, you just mixed.
Yes, I know. I just got the name wrong, but I knew the name.
No, James, but you just mixed two of them together again. Because the monster that Kaine hates is the one that's in the veil, and the one that attacks the thing right before the time skip is a different monster.
It is? Well, what's that monster?
Yeah. I forget their name. I forget all the boss names because they're all like things that are revealed to you in the Route B, like by the text disappearing. So I forget. But yeah. Like I actually remember their boss theme names, and I refer to them in my head as their boss theme name. It's like the one in the veil. Weird. The one in the veil is Grandma, because the song's called Grandma. And the one that attacks the town, the song is called The Dark Colossus Destroys All. So
I like that. I like that name.
Yeah, so that's just how I remember them.
It's
Want
dumb.
to say some words, James?
Hmm?
I just wanted to
What?
mitigate dead air.
Oh, I mean, no. Sometimes dead air is okay.
Is it?
Sometimes it's sometimes. It's only sometimes, but not every time. Especially not right now, which is why I'm talking. So, yeah. So you guys watched a movie pretty recently, right?
Yeah, we
Nice-
did.
nice segue. So we are going to, anyone listening, we are doing a My Hero Academia 2 Heroes spoiler cast. If you have not seen the movie and you would like to not be spoiled, then just we will see you next time. If you have either seen it, want our opinions, or have not seen it and probably aren't going to see it anytime soon, then stick around for all the spoilers.
You could stick around. For those
Yeah.
spoilers.
Really quick though, I'm gonna say that the bosses that we're talking about, the one that kind of hates, his name is Hook, and I'm looking
Ah.
at all the ones on the fucking. And then I don't know what the big one is called because I can't find it in the wiki. Oh, it's called Jack of Hearts. That's his name.
Jack Hearts. Okay, interesting. All right. Well, while you guys talk about that, I will be right back.
Okay, cool. Anyway, My Hero Academia, it's 2 heroes.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking good.
It's a very
It's
good
pretty-
movie.
I'm gonna say
Uh,
the same thing I said to Claude in that it's just like a filler episode of the show, but extended
very
into
good
2
movie.
hours, which is good because the filler episodes in the show are also good. So it's
I don't know about that one.
Man, the one for season 3 wasn't that good because it's just recap.
So
But,
there's
like-
3 filler episodes in season 3.
The one for the movie was okay. That one was fine.
That one's fine. Even though I hate that the logical decision they made in the middle of it. It's like, let me break it all down. And the fact that a lot of the logic he made hinged on the fact that he was like, I believe they're in love, and that's how because everything else is fine. But like when you use it like that, like love like as a tool like that, I'm like, this is retarded. This is really
Yeah.
this is not great.
But see,
Outside
but
of
it-
that, I like everything else.
But it also gave us the bit of Ochako being thrown like a
Like
thing,
a Kirby, all
Uh,
balled up.
and that was cute. So it all is forgiven. And then there's the one with Asui on the boat. Where she's doing the Coast Guard shit.
That was
That's a
season
good
2.
episode. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a good.
Oh, I thought we were
that
talking about the 3 in
that-
season 3.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. That's my barometer for My Hero Academia filler episodes. That's a good episode. So
So, because the filler episode, the other one that happened in season 3, it's not bad. It's just because I'm caught up on the manga. Like I'm like, I want them to get to a certain point, and after them being done with the series, like because it ended today, or at least season 3, not done with the series. Yeah, those filler episodes were needed because it ends right at the perfect spot. I'll say where it ends in a second.
wasn't the other filler episode there was a filler fight where like Todoroki fought a bunch of ninjas or some bullshit?
Okay, yeah. So the thing about that, which is why I'm fine with that. It's just not what I wanted because I want them to get to like the fights I wanted. I wanted to see Gang Orca. Is there's panels. There's 2 panels that address this in the entire manga, where you do see Todoroki and a bunch of people in front of him, and then later on you see Jiro with like the whole group that not Jiro, she was there, but Momo with the whole group she was with, walking out of a building like carrying her. So you do see those 2 panels, but you never actually see the fight. So they built an
Oh.
episode around what happened during those 2 panels, which is like,
Yeah,
all
that
right.
makes
I mean, I didn't want to see that because but whatever. Which after finishing everything, like all those filler episodes were needed because the last episode ends where in the middle of the episode you see Mirio styling on everyone, but the
Mhm.
final scene is Overhaul face to face with Shigaraki.
Oh, Shigaraki.
Just-
Oh, it's that bit where he explodes the girl.
Well, that didn't happen. They just
Okay.
they just showed up. So he's like, "Hey, I want you to meet him." And as they were looking at each other when
so-
he's there, that's where it ends.
So it's Shigaraki when he's at the Byakuza base, not the other way around.
no,
that
all
one?
right. So it's when Twice. All right, because the episode beforehand, Twice found Overhaul,
Right.
and he was like, "Oh!" And it ends with Twice bringing Overhaul to their temporary base, and all League of
Okay.
Villains members are just there.
Okay.
And
So
Twice is
it-
like, "Hey, I'd like you to meet this guy I found."
So it is the scene where he blows up Magne.
Why are you spoiling that?
Because it's a spoiler cast.
It's a spoiler cast for the movie.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. We already spoiled the whole everything. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but people could have skipped that and then been caught. All right.
I don't care.
Okay,
no one
well,
cares.
Sorry, y'all. But so it is because it's before because they had the conversation of like, hey, what is your plan? Like, you remember that? And Shiraki being like, I don't need to tell you my plan. It is right before they even start saying words to each other. Like, he just shows up there. So the first 5 minutes of episode 1 of season 4 will be their actual conversation and the death.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's just gonna open.
It's gonna start hard.
Horrifying murder. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good tone setter for season 4.
Definitely, because I think I was talking to George about this, where it's like, hey, I'm super excited for season 4 because we were talking like All for One, or his little bit he has in the movie, and I was like, oh, I really is gonna appreciate his overhaul because it's like name the people who died in the series. George couldn't really remember. I was like, all right, you have All Might's master, and then you have Koda's parents. Every death that's happened so far has been in the past and off screen. I was like, starting next season, you are gonna have hard deaths on screen.
Hard ass murders.
Like, woof. But we should probably actually talk about this movie instead of season 4 of My Hero Academia.
Anyway. Yeah, fucking Two Heroes was really good. Yeah, it was like the best way I can describe it is it was just like a fun, like side story thing. It was just very simple, contained plot that was just fun and had a lot of good set pieces in it, and character interactions in it were good. Lots of good little character interactions that are fun. I liked them.
Like, I was even watching, because I watched it a second time. Watched it this morning with my sister, her boyfriend, then Stewie and George.
Allegedly, George was there.
He got there late, and that was a nightmare situation. I don't even want to bring up here. It was the actual dumbest. God, man. But yeah, so like, as far as when we got into the theater, Stewie was not happy because of what he missed. Stewie got there as All Might was waking up for his dream, because you remember like the whole beginning sequence is them and when he's like young All Might, jumping around. Okay. Yeah, we got there as that scene finished and All Might was waking up in the plane.
On the plane? Okay, so you just didn't miss that much. You just missed the cool animation.
That's the problem, though. He wanted to see it because it's the only time you see him as young All Might.
In the movie, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I also missed that because of traffic.
Well, you caught half of it.
Yeah, because I came in literally right as he did the finishing blow on that guy, and then he's like
the California Smash.
Yeah, and he's talking to his buddy, and he's like, and they jump in the car, and he's like, "We're gonna be late for the thing, for class."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then All Might's like, "We gotta save the people," and he's like, "Oh yeah, what a hero." So yeah, that was when I came in.
Symbol of peace.
Look at this dude.
Wait, where the fuck James go? Because I don't know. I know he's gonna be asking questions because he wants to know about stuff.
James is talking about he's taking a shit or something. I don't know. His little meter is too low, so he needs to refill it.
Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that sentence at all. Okay, so where should we even begin? You think?
Do you want to go over the plot? Do you just want to talk about different aspects of the movie that we liked? What do you want to do with this?
We'll start with the plot.
Okay. You go for it since you saw it more recently than I did. So you probably remember shit better than I do.
Okay. So, for people who didn't read it, there was 2 specific manga chapters that tied in immediately to it. If I'm remembering it correct, it's chapter 192.5 and 193.5. They were both standalone chapters tying in the movie. 193.5 was the story of why All Might even went to America, being that, All for One murdered his master. Like, you see the scene where they last saw each other alive. And then Gran Torino's like, that man has hundreds of years of experience because he's been alive for fucking ever. So you need to get somewhere out of his reach. So go to America to finish your studying and gain as much experience as possible. So that's the reason he went to America. And then 192.5 was just, hey, who is Melissa Shields? Who is this cute girl and why should you care? And, you know,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, it's just that the chapter itself is fine. There's nothing really right home on it.
Yeah, and she's pretty cute. So,
yeah, I mean, she's
okay.
a cute kid, but in the chapter at least, there's nothing special. It's just,
Yeah.
oh, you're a great hero, and he's like, your dad's a good guy too. He made me this suit. Or, you know, I'm not gonna like I can't do the super deep cool guy voice that All Might has. I'm not Chris Sabat. But yeah, so it's like, oh wait, people who make items can be heroes too. Papa's a hero. I love that. Now I want to make stuff. So you get her motivation in stuff like from before, and then there's the one episode that ties in Save the World with Love, which is literally just the only parts of the episode that matter to the movie is that Melissa Shields sent All Might an invite, and All Might had one free, like you bring basically a +1. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, you swallowed my hair. Come with me. And that's why, you know, Deku was there. And that's when the movie starts with them on the plane. Well, it starts with
swallowed my hair.
That's how we so got the powers.
It's true. It's true. I can't argue with that, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, it starts off with his dream sequence, and then he gets to Island, which is where all these scientists live. And from there, it's like, I'm gonna meet my good buddy David Shield. When seriously, in the background, nefarious things are happening. The building blocks to villainy are being set up. You know, they're exploring the island, and in the best way I've seen done for a movie to bring your side characters in, everyone has a legit reason for where they are, and it's all good shit. Not like the Dragon Ball movies,
where everyone just fumbles their way into existence.
Like, did you see? I'm not sure if you watched it. I think it was Android like 16 or not 16, 15 or 14 or whatever movie. The one with the trucker hat, Android 13 maybe.
I have seen that, yeah.
Do you remember the fact that they were all fighting in Antarctica, and there was a point where the ice split, and Vegeta just came, like he was underneath the ice for no reason?
Yeah, he was there.
Or in the Broly movie, when like Gohan was about to die, and for some reason Piccolo was just on that planet.
Yeah, he's just fought. Yeah, no, but he was just there though.
Yeah, but yeah, he was just there. He didn't fly up on the ship with them. He was on a completely different planet, but he can't use instant transmission. But he was there. Like Dragon Ball will just be like, people were just there. Don't think about it. This at least gave very good reasons for everyone being there. Oh wait, it's like, hold on. Uraraka's here. Why's she here? Jiro, why are you here? Momo, well, she's like, well, my dad's rich and a shareholder, so I had 2 invites. And the girls just play rock, paper, scissors. And it's like, Ida, why are you here? My family's filled with heroes. I was just the one to come. Kaminari, Mineta, why are you here? It's like, oh, we applied to work because it gave us a chance to do stuff on the island and we could make money. Who else was there? Fucking, oh, yeah, that's right. Bakugo and Kirishima, why are you here? He's like, oh, Bakugo won first place in the tournament, so we got an invite and I tagged along. I was like, oh, Todoroki, why are you here? He's like, my dad's the number 2 hero, but I came.
Yeah.
So like everyone who's like there has a reason to be there, which is kind of cool. And then
Except
people
for
who
like the useless people have nothing to do.
Yeah, which that's my favorite part, which I'll get into later. So it's like, all right, we're gonna we are going to just all go to this party, and that's when the villain stuff starts, and everyone at the party is locked down, and the kids are like, we have to get to the
people.
200th floor.
It's because they kept intercutting all the bits of everyone hanging out at the preview with like these like guys like breaking into the building, being like tying up dudes, being like, yeah, we're gonna do some bullshit. So you knew some shit was gonna go down. So when the shit pops up at the party, everyone's like, it's like, oh, so this is what's happening.
Yeah,
kind of deal.
I'm a little upset actually James isn't here because I know he's gonna have questions whenever he does get back, and we're just gonna
he's
go
gonna
over
get
shit again.
talking about. We have to explain the whole fucking thing to him again. Well, he's not allowed. Fuck that guy.
My main question is,
oh, you heard us the whole time, or no?
I heard why reasons characters are there. My main question is,
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest.
Yes, I'm listening.
I'll be honest. I didn't actually have a question. I was just hoping I could shop something on the fly, but then I forgot. Oh, I'm me. That's not a thing that happens with me.
Okay. You actually came in at a good time because we didn't really get into too much. We were
really?
just going over the plot. Yeah, no, we were building up the plot. I was mentioning the stuff in the manga and chapters and all the stuff that happened to set up prior knowledge for the movie, and then explaining why everyone was there. The villains take over and they lock down the tower, and people who are not in the massive tower think there's just a bomb threat, so like no one really knows what's going on, but they're all being like, we're just told to chill. And they're like, all right, one of the villains like, hey Tubby, you're a scientist, right? I was like, man, what type of goof is he? He's just calling him Tubby. He's like, you're a scientist, right? Come get this thing for me. And then David Shields is like, no, don't do that. David Shields being all my best friend. He's like, don't do that. He's my assistant. And he just takes both of them and they leave. And then Deku and the group are like, hey, we can stop this. Melissa Shields is like, if we get to the 200th floor, I can turn off the security system and free everyone. So as the whole movie for like an hour becomes get to the top, and you get a bunch of fun, well-animated fights with a lot of the characters, some people making the noble sacrifices, some people doing literally nothing, as in to the point of, I don't know why you were even in the movie. And then you get to the end when they fight Magneto, because he's basically Magneto.
Now I remember what my question was. My question was, I heard from one person that said they saw the movie that said there was some Dragon Ball Super Season 1 levels of animation in terms of like bad animation.
That's a fucking lie.
There's one scene and it's perfect for its 2 frames of animation.
Yeah, there's one thing that's funny and purposefully low animated. But I don't even know. Like, there's like some stuff that's like TV quality animation, because I'm assuming whatever. Like, and that's fine. There's a bit where there's a crowd and it's a CG crowd, like the show does, which is like whatever. And then there's I don't know. There's like some like low detail shots of like people doing things, but it's not like the whole
thing. Nothing you can detract from the show or from the movie.
The only thing is that the show does this. The movie does the same thing the show does with like filling time with flashbacks. With the beginning of the movie has lots of flashbacks. There's a lot of
too many,
and there's a lot of useless flashbacks. There's a bit where it flashed back to the same scene twice in like 5 minutes.
The scene about like, oh, can I be a hero when I grow up?
No, it was the
like, no, bitch.
Maybe I actually forget. It was the bit where it flashed back to Melissa giving him the bracelet. Back that bit. And
so that happened, and then they flashed back to it an hour later.
No. She gave it to him, and then they flashed back to it like 30 minutes later, and then they flashed back to it again like 10 minutes after that. It was like the show also has that issue, so it didn't bother me that much. Mm-hmm. But it's a thing. It's a thing that happens.
Okay. See, because I was wondering, that didn't sound right for like a movie, especially like an MHA movie. You'd think they'd. The
art quality is consistently very high. Good, they're very, very high, and there's some actually amazing like Sakuga cuts in this movie that look like incredibly good. Like the whole last sequence of the film looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into this stuff in a second. I figured we'd finish the plot before we go into like the
that's not important.
Specific things.
That's not important. Why would you spoil the plot during the spoiler cast, dude?
There's times I reminded how much I don't like you. Right now is one of those times. So where we got? Oh yes, right. You find out that David Shields was actually the one behind this whole thing, because he's like, All Might's losing his power, and I need to hire fake villains to steal this device so I can give it to All Might. So he can be a hero again, because he's about to lose all of his power.
Because ouch, my bones.
Like, and then the villain's like, psych, I was a real villain. And your friend is a little shit who betrayed you too, and I'm gonna shoot him.
Oh.
It was pretty rough. It caught me off guard.
Oh no.
And yeah, so there's multiple times this guy almost killed someone just with a gun, and then like it's like, all right, well, we're gonna just take him with us, and Deku kind of gets his ass whipped a little bit. It's a good scene. Overall, it's very good. And then you get to like they're escaping in a helicopter, and that's when All Might shows up because the security system's been turned off, and you get a great fight. I'm not even gonna call it a fight, but you get a great All Might being like, I gotta get to him. And right when he gets to the dude and he's all tied up by all like the wires and stuff, he's like, oh, you think this is gonna stop me? And then he just gets choked out by the dude and he's like, why is he so strong? And you as he's being choked and like being like, why is he strong at this? You slowly hear All For One's theme playing. And he's like, multiple quirks? No, it can't be. He's like, yep. Right before I did this, got called from the big man. And I was like, well, I was wondering why he wanted to help me, and he was happy to answer. And then All For One was like, if All Might's friend wants to trek down the path of villainy, then I will do everything in my power to help him. So the All Might's connection to this was just like, oh, All Might's friend wants to do some shit. Let me give you a strong quirk to help you with that.
Damn.
It's literally all For One does in that movie. He's not even there. It's just you get voice lines and he was in the background. And then you just get one of the most gorgeous like final scenes I've seen in an anime, in a shonen anime movie, with
peak Yutaka Nakamura. Literally, like that's like the most he's gone all out I've ever seen in anything. It's
it's super good.
Fucking sick. My penis was rock hard, and
Like,
fucking Yusei Run was playing over it, so it's like so it's like I was like my penis was like shining brightly and could be seen.
Shining.
Yeah. It was like in Kill la Kill when the pants go off and there's like the light shining.
Yeah.
It was like that. That's how I felt deep inside.
And it's like, I mean, I know they're not father and son, but you know, fuck the father-son Kamehameha. It's all about that father-son double Detroit smash.
Oh,
yeah. It's literally, it reminds me of the end of Die Buster also, for anyone out there who's seen it.
So they do that through... Sorry, go.
No, yeah, it's godlike.
So they do that, a double Detroit smash through a giant pillar, and then right before they hit the villain, like you see Deku like put like in his arms just like fully like colored and whatnot. He's like, all right, I'm pulling my arm back, going for my strongest punch, and then you see All Might literally hit a flexing pose, like, and you see, and they don't match up with them doing this, and it's perfect. I don't know how to describe that pose.
All Might,
it's legendary.
It's literally like a fucking like a bodybuilder like weight like look at my muscles pose.
Mm-hmm. Like it does not fit what they're doing at all, and it's
Pillar
perfect.
Man-esque. It's
Yes.
very Pillar Man-esque. It's fucking.
If you look at the JoJo opening for part 2, where they're just standing at the top of the mountain, it is one of those poses that All Might just does right before his final punch, and they both have this super gorgeous megaton punch that they hit the villain with. And then, you know, everyone has their final conversations with whatnot, and then the movie ends.
It's, dude, because the movie is very simple. It's got some, you know, it's very simple. It's just fun. It's a fun little side story. I recommend people to watch it if they want fun little side story stuff.
Yeah, it's super enjoyable.
What I will say is that this is my first experience for real with the My Hero Academia dub, because I couldn't get a sub screening. And I can say that I like the dub, actually. I don't dislike any of the dub actors. There are certain things from the sub that I miss. Like I talked about before, that I miss Bakugo's VA yelling "Shine" because it makes me laugh.
But his English voice actor is good, but I can see missing that.
That's the thing too, is that I actually really like Bakugo's English voice actor. I think he's really good. But I miss that one specific line that the Japanese VA does. And then I also miss Ayane Sakura playing Ochako. Even though I don't dislike Ochako's English VA, I think Ayane Sakura is better because, you know, she's good. She's good.
There's the only two people I've mentioned before that I'm not a fan of as far as the dub goes is Mineta and then Kid Deku. There's one that I'm like, is my number one favorite, and Stewie acknowledged this because he never listened to the dub. When you get to the end and the All For One music's playing, and
All for One's in
you
this
hear
book is
All for One
actually really
talking. Stewie stopped looking at the movie, looked at me, is like, "Is that his voice?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's a really fucking good voice actor." He was like, "Yeah, no, they got like literally the perfect person to play All for One in the dub."
Yeah, All for One's dub voice actually is pretty great. He sounds fucking evil.
He is. He's the king of evil.
The king of evil.
Yeah, that was his quote.
Yeah,
I
I know. But it's all every time with that. It gets me.
Yeah, he's like, the same way you decided to be a champion of justice, I wanted to be the king of evil. Like,
he loved it so much. He's like Garo, but like more serious.
Yeah, agreed.
Like I want is the idea of All for One sitting as a child, like being like, fucking dad, why doesn't the bad guy ever win? This is bullshit.
Like, James, I know you said you had some questions about the movie, or
No, that was it. That was the question I had.
that was literally the only thing you had. Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's all I really
far,
heard about the movie.
How do you feel about Melissa then? Because she's the thing. She's important in this movie. She has lots of screen time.
So when I was
filler
going
girl.
into this movie, I had the mentality of this is gonna be filler stuff. I don't even care who this character is. I don't care what happens with her because she's not gonna matter in the long run. And then the movie did the disgusting thing of making me care what happens to her in the long run.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, damn it, I'm never gonna see her again because she's actually a good character. She's way too good for a filler character.
Yeah, that was my thing, right? Is that she was so good that I wish that she wasn't in the movie, so I wouldn't have to deal with the fact that she's never going to be relevant ever again.
Okay, you were talking to Horikoshi. You can make this call. Who do you put in the manga? Do you put in Militia Seals, but she's taking the place of Mei Hatsume? Who do you want?
Okay, I can't get rid of Hatsume because she's too different from the rest of the cast. I feel like Melissa fits in a way where she like kind of is similar-ish to like some of the other characters. Like she's similar-ish to Deku and also to Ochako and like kind of like Nejire. If you like slot them all in together, she kind of is like one of those girls. And Hatsume's design and her way of acting is too unique to like just like remove her and put in like kind of like normal girl. Like Melissa is very normal girl.
She's super wholesome is basically the thing.
Yeah.
Is it me or did they give a lot of play and love to Bakugo in this movie?
They did. Bakugo is really popular as a character, so it makes sense. And it also makes sense that because he didn't have like, you know, the most like motivation for being there in the plot, that it would make sense for them to like make him do stuff by making him be a cool guy in action scenes, which is also like consistent with Bakugo as a character also. Because like, why would he not be a cool guy in action scenes? That's like his thing, is he's really good at fighting. So
like they did the thing in the movie where I feel like they looked at what a lot of his most popular moments are and just put all of them together. So you have when he first saw Deku and like he's like yelling and they're like telling him to calm down. It is very reminiscent of the sports festival when he was just chained up. You have his like fantastic interactions with Todoroki. He does fucking howitzer impact.
Yeah, howitzer impact looks fucking godlike in this movie.
That's the thing about Bakugo. Love him or hate him, he has the best name like moves, like as far as like what he's naming them.
Yeah, dude, howitzer impact is so cool. It's so fucking cool. What's the other one that he has with the grenade on his arm? I forget.
I don't remember the name of that. The only other one I remember the name of is when he puts his hand over his palm, makes it like smaller blast. It's AP shot for armor piercing shot.
Armor piercing shot, yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Bakugo is a character who I hated for a while because I'm not a fan of bully characters, especially the ones who are super extra, because he has no chill, ever.
Yeah, Bakugo is the most extra-ass fucking bully character of all time.
But like he rubbed off on me after a while. By a while, I mean it was after like where they are in the show right now, where he's like, "Hey, your shoot style." I gave him some tips on it, and he kind of mellows out a little bit towards Deku.
Yeah,
that's when I started to become cool with him. And in this entire movie, it's just like he was a shit, but like they used all his best shit moments.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, because my favorite thing about Bakugo, as far as like before, was that like nobody takes his shit ever. Like everyone acknowledges that he fights good, but everyone's like, dude, why are you like this? Stop it. You don't gotta. Why you gotta tell him to die every time you see him? Stop. He's just a boy.
He just wants to help.
Yeah.
He just wants to help.
It's like, and my favorite about that is Todoroki, because there's in the. I'm not sure if they do it in the anime because it's kind of like the dumb like aside things in the manga, but every single time Todoroki is on screen with Bakugo, he's just talking bad shit about him constantly.
Yeah, no, that happened in the show too.
Like Todoroki casts shade at Bakugo constantly, and it's my fucking favorite. It's so good. He's such a fucking asshole.
And then every now and again, you'll also get Ochako doing it.
Yeah, Ochako does it like it's very subtly. She does it in the movie, and it's nice actually. I like
It's
that.
like, you'll never beat my score. He's like, you're right. She's like, I don't know about that. Only one way to find out. She's so like fun loving at the beginning. I love it. Like where she just couldn't stop like shaking her arms up and down. She's like, I've never been to a fancy party. Never even worn anything this fancy before. He's like, no, you look perfect. And she's like, and then she gets all embarrassed. Like it's just great. They're
it's cute.
Great times.
Wholesome entertainment.
Also, and then when I mentioned before, sorry, you were saying something?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. You keep going.
I was gonna the same thing I mentioned to you, like when we talked about the movie the first time, was like, why was Kaminari even there? And like, once you look at his impact in the story, why was he there?
Fucking the only thing he does is he tries to attack some guys once, and then it's like, it's not working. What if I try harder? And then he does nothing again, and then he just goes stupid. He's a fucking, and then he's just a fucking like thing Ida has to carry for the rest of the movie.
Yes, which is because like if you look at every member of that of the main characters who were like the hero group running, every one of them did at least one thing. And Kaminari's was like, I was here and my thing did not work, and I literally became dead weight for the rest of the movie.
I was there and I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was alright. I actually really like the moment that Mineta gets because it's so stupid.
Yeah, it's like, who can fit through small spaces and climb up a wall without falling?
Also, the dumb joke where he's like climbing up the wall and he's like just muttering to himself, just do it for the harem.
It's like harem.
Yeah, it's so good.
And he's a little creeper when they get up this ladder, and they're like, all right, how about ladies, how about we celebrate with some kisses? Like, and he's drooling a little bit while he's saying it.
Yeah, fucking, yeah. Mineta sucks, but that moment was alright.
Yeah, I'm not a Mineta fan, but it definitely works for me.
That joke did actually get me a little bit in the theater. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about specifically? I feel like
we talked about enough last time that I'm like, what's noteworthy that we could talk about again? Because we pretty much went through everything. So James, trying to have something here. Say something. Ask something. As a person who has not seen it, but like, I guess cares enough about My Hero Academia.
Would you say that this is like what? Give me a number out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Ranking?
Yeah, ranking.
I'd go for like 8.5.
8 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say?
I'd say that it was fun.
Okay. Would you say it fits like really well into like as compared to like something? It carries over the same like feeling and I don't know, like not emotional weight, but like something.
Are you saying if it feels like it would fit in the canon? If they told me today it was canon,
yes,
then the answer would be yes.
Okay.
It literally just feels like a 2-hour episode of the show. Like it's like it fits in perfectly with the tone. Characters are all fine. There's the only weirdness that me and Cloud were talking about is that it has to do with the time frame the movie is set in the continuity. So it's like the movie is set like during summer break. So it's like after Deku learns full cowl, right? And after the bit where the Nomu's attack in the city, right? So it's like after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like at the end of season 2, if I remember correctly.
But at the same time, it's also before season 3 starts, which when you look at the show, those things take place over the course. Like they're like 2 days apart, where season 2 stops and season 3 starts.
It might take place like before the tests, even where they take those tests at the end of season 2. I can't remember, but anyway. Yeah, the thing is kind of so the weirdness with that actually comes in with like some stuff that me and Claude mentioned, where like there's a bit in the movie where like Todoroki uses his fire, and like Deku was like super hyped about it, like, oh wow, he's using his fire, but it's like we're already after the sports festival, and like with Stain also, we're like
so like that wouldn't have been a new.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been big and crazy thing for him to use it then, I guess. We've already had that moment of Deku being hyped about Todoroki using his fire, right?
Okay.
So like that, and I think that's the only thing in the movie that was kind of weird, as far as like, things that felt like, this is just some weirdness as far as like canon and continuity shit. Everything else is fine though, in my opinion.
A follow-up question relating to continuity and stuff. If somebody was adamant on watching this like in a good time frame, like before continuing on with the rest of the anime, where would you tell somebody to watch it?
After you finish season 2, right before you start season 3.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay.
Sorry, continue.
I say like it literally doesn't matter, because like you say that, but there's also an episode in season 3 that ties into the movie. So,
well, that episode doesn't like when you say ties in from season 3, that episode could be watched anywhere. I mean, the only thing is they kind of spoil like, for what would happen in season 3. Like, hey, weren't we fighting Gang Orca? It's like, don't worry about that. Worry about this. And it's a story about love.
This movie.
This movie.
One thing I have to say is there is I like audible gasping anytime Melissa got hurt. That's how you know they did a good job making people care.
Yeah, that happened in my theater too.
So one of my favorite scenes is there's a point where it's just Deku and Melissa, and some villain like is attacking Deku, like right when they come to like a hole in the wall. And Deku almost falls out the building, and as the villain's about to knock him down, Melissa's like grabbing him, like, don't hurt him, and he knocks her down and like cuts her arm, so you just see some like blood fly, and like everyone in the theater's like gasp, like, oh, and like he turns to face her, and he's like, little, and as he has maybe 2 seconds tops, as he says little before he finishes saying girl, you see Midoriya teleporting on screen with a cockback arm, and after he says girl, punched in the cheek as hard enough where that man is probably dead, and he crumbles into the floor, like, because he slammed, he goes flying, like he has no time. Imagine
that was a fucking like 20% like full cow punch. That dude's dead as fuck.
like imagine, like, I explained all that, but here's the series of events. Girl gets knocked down, little girl, and then that's it. That is all he gets. There was no fight. It's just that.
Yeah, that character was built up like he was gonna be a mini boss at some point, like someone would fight him, and he literally dies in one punch. It's like almost like a joke that he was beaten that hard. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good moment.
Deku does the Captain America thing for the next 2 people, where it's like, if you look at Captain America Civil War, there's people with super strength and whatnot, and then you get to Captain America, who's like the peak of human strength, but for some reason Captain America, it looks like he hits people harder than anyone else, unnecessarily hard. So there's 2 dudes with guns who show up after that guy gets punked, and Deku is jumping around the hallway, dodging the bullets. The first person, he kicks into the wall, and the guy is just like planted in the wall, cannot move. And he dodges under the gun for the second dude and punches him in the stomach, but it's one of those things where there's a hard punch and a pause for a second. And the dude just goes flying off screen. I was like, his organs must be failing. There's no way he's okay after that. Neither of them.
Deku hard murders multiple men in this movie. Speaking of hard murder,
yeah, go for it. I know you're gonna say the same thing as me.
Yeah, there's a fucking bit in this movie. Speaking of audible gasps in the theater as well, there's a bit in the movie where the villain, because the villain in this movie, I actually liked him a lot because his power is not only that he's Magneto, but his power also is having a gun.
Oh.
He has a gun, and everyone in the movie is like, "Fuck, this dude's got a gun." So fucking, he goes to shoot the bit at the end of this movie where you get revealed that Melissa's dad, David Shield, is like, "Oh, I'm actually the person who hired the goons for this crime because I wanted to get the thing to help All Might." So he gets double crossed immediately by his assistant, who's like, "Nah, fuck you. I was gonna sell this thing off anyway to these villains instead of helping you because you betrayed me by having the government take away our research. You suck."
The quote is, "I deserve a reward for what you're gonna go into."
Yeah. So he's upset, and so he's like, "Oh fuck," and the villain's like, "I'm gonna double cross you again," and he's like, "I'm gonna take this," and then he's just gonna kill the assistant.
He shoots him in the shoulder at first, he's like, "I deserve a reward," and the villain's like, "Yeah, here's your reward." He pulls up the gun and just shoots him.
Bam!
And everyone feels like, "What?
What the fuck?" Yeah. and then after that point, it's like he's gonna finish him off, right? I'm gonna kill you, and he shoots him, and he shoots his gun. There's a blood splatter. You see the blood splatter all over the briefcase that has a thing in it. And I heard a dude in the theater, it's like this obvious black guy yell, "Shit!" like really loud, and that was pretty good. And it was just that the other dude, Spade, Shield, jumped in. I wanted to call him David Spade. Jumped in the way of the bullet. He took the shot in the shoulder also. But for a split ass moment, everyone in the theater thought that guy just got his head blown up.
Yep.
It was fucked up. The villain just wanted to kill people, dude.
So the line when we were talking about almost killing someone, that's not the one I thought I meant. I'm talking about when All Might showed up at the end and burst through the helicopter, and the helicopter exploded,
those dudes are
crashed,
fucking dead.
and exploded again.
Those dudes are fucking dead. He killed them. That's right.
Oh man, the movie is so good. I love that movie.
I forgot. Yeah, that pilot and that dude with the gun. They're dead as fuck. I forgot.
The look on their face when he was in the sky, jaws dropped. Oh shit, we lost.
That's one of those moments. It's when I'm sad that I'll never see them ever again. But because those are my favorite All Might moments. Are the ones where he moves and the universe explodes around him because he's moving so fast.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, so he jumps because the thing is he frees himself from the binds after they turn off the security system. He's like, "Now I'm gonna save the world, or I'm gonna help you, or whatever." And he jumps from the ground floor to the 200th floor of the building, and you just see the building crumble around him as he's jumping to all that high. And that's my fucking favorite All Might thing. He does that.
And his burst of let me stop flying upwards, so I'm just standing still before I burst down again. Just that burst to stop himself from moving creates a shockwave that unstables the helicopter.
The helicopter, yeah, because he just punches the air above him to make him stop moving, and the fucking shockwave causes the elevator to tumble. Dude, All Might is the coolest.
All Might's so good, and this is the most legitimate complaint I heard anyone have, mostly about the series and whatnot. Which I get, I'm I can see that. They're I love that moment so much. It makes me sad that this is just a movie, non-canon stuff, but that in the main series we will never see a Deku All Might team up like this. And I was yeah, that kind of does suck. That would be nice.
Which is why I feel they gave it to us in this one, where they literally have they have the double Inazuma kick, they have fucking Logon Impact, this is that. We got it. We got the double Detroit Smash, and it's amazing glory. And I can't wait for the Blu-ray to come out so I can make GIFs of it so I can just look at it every day.
Yeah. Favorite character in this movie for you?
All Might, because he's in it and he's my favorite. I'll give a shout outs to Jiro because I like that she was actually present in this movie and had a good amount of screen time, and she had some good lines where she talked shit about Kaminari, and that was
I love her commitment to the jacket.
Yes,
even
that was
in her
godlike.
dress. was still wearing her jacket.
I fucking can't stand that Kaminari and Mineta don't understand her appeal. They don't understand that the jacket that she's cool with the jacket. They keep talking shit about the jacket, and I'm like, fuck you. Why are you like this? How do you not understand this? She's cool.
So mine is probably All Might, and if I had to give my number 2, it would go to Bakugo, because like it feels like, especially like we're giving everyone some love, but let's give Bakugo an extra scoop of love because
he's secondary main character, or no, he's like the rival. I guess what I meant to say. He's like the rival, so it makes sense that he gets as much play.
Right, but like it's weird because it's not even once or twice, but consistently he has been more popular than Deku in polls.
Yeah, he is the most popular character in the series. So,
which is weird. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before. There was a specific poll that threw me the fuck off, where the top 3 in popularity was Bakugo, then Deku, then Toga. I was like, why is Toga there? That's surprising.
Well, people like she likes the sharp teeth. People like it. She got sharp teeth. She got titties. That's not confusing at all. That's Japan.
James.
Damn. Yeah.
Anything you want to say before we close? I mean, I don't have too much more to say. I've said a lot of my points. I don't know if you had any questions about the movie or how things went or anything you want to add on.
No, not really. I just know that I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, no, Claude. There's one more thing you have to talk about.
What is this?
You have to talk about the guy in your theater.
Oh God. Okay, so the ultimate of cringe. Right before the movie started, there was a dude who stood up and just shouted out, "Who here loves anime?" And then half of the theater went wild.
Oh, the fact that more than half of half of the theater went wild is cringy too.
That is fucking hilarious.
He then sat down with a triumphant smile on his face. He was like, "I can't believe that worked."
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said that.
That's
no shit. Did he really? That's great.
Yes, he said that. I'm not making that up.
That's
also
great.
I not as bad as that, but I had some dank fangirl squealing whenever Bakugo was on screen in my theater.
Yeah, when he first showed up, anytime any character showed up, there was varying amounts of like response.
What was the response when Mineta showed up?
Well, he showed up right after Kaminari. Like they showed up basically together.
Yes,
so the cheers from Kaminari went into Mineta.
So everyone, because that's the thing, is when there's the whole bit where they're all the jokes, why is everyone here thing, right? All of those things had a response of like, holy shit from the crowd, right? Like they're here and they all clap and they point at the screen.
I was hoping Mineta would just get like everybody's voice just kind of fade.
Collective groan.
Yeah.
But what? So that happened at the beginning of the movie. But then every time, so there's like there's the main cast, which is those people. But there's like some other people from Class 1A that like weren't relevant to the movie at all, like Jiro and Ashido and Asui, Asuyu, and like Sero and the sugar guy or whatever. Like we're all like had little cameos, but we're not like fucking. Some people weren't even in it at all. Like fucking Aoyama and Ojiro and the dude who speaks to animals. Yeah. Like they weren't in it at all. But like Dark Shadow, Takoyami and what's his face got like a single scene also. But so the thing where Froppy is literally in the movie for 2 scenes and she has like 1 spoken line, I think. And both times she's on screen, the people from the was like and they'd point at the screen. It was
super hype. But yeah, the biggest reactions I noticed, I mean, and it makes sense, was Bakugo and Todoroki. Especially when Bakugo showed up in the suit, and all the girls were like, screaming because like, oh, Bakugo.
All the girls were like, man, Kaminari or Kirishima's gay because he brought suits for both of them.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see online people were like, trying to ship them. And I'm like, get out of here, man. They're best friends, technically.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck was that?
Sorry, I accidentally had Dragon Ball happening.
What? Why do you have Dragon Ball happening? You don't like Dragon Ball.
I know, I'm talking Dragon Ball Fighters.
You don't like Dragon Ball.
That's true. Well, I do like I do like 17 2-bar touch of death combos.
Oh, well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, that's all I have on it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any questions. So, well, thank you
That's
everybody
cool.
for joining us today on the weekly Dadcast. Recorded every Saturday at 4, uploaded on Mondays. Hopefully, unless something goes horribly wrong, Monday mornings is when it's posted at weeklydadcast.podbean.com. And remember, you can always send in your emails at weeklydadcast@gmail or officialdadcast@gmail.com, and then send in your tweets at weeklydadcast. We're also on iTunes, so check us out there if you're an iPhone bitch like Skylar.
I have a fucking Android phone, you dumb idiot.
I'm remembering the time when you didn't have the
like more than a year ago.
Yeah. And
How about
It's not
go
really
fuck
an
yourself?
You've been proven wrong instantly.
it's fine.
I have an LG phone. Like a cool guy.
I hate LG phone. I had an LG G3, and it was one of those things where, like, I'm not sure if you heard about the court case that ended up coming out from that, where there was an update that happened through Android, where specifically the LG G3 just gave up. Like there was an issue with it, and like you could not do anything with the phone at all. Actually had to get a new phone, and that's why there was a class action lawsuit against LG.
Fun.
Damn.